Good morning. This is JahLogic, and you're watching the morning Rant. And with me, I have my three co-hosts. Let me put them on the screen. I have VeeSmilez.
Good morning. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, VeeSmilez. I have MC Mighty Casey, also known as Casey Gain.
What up, Logic? Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Thank you for being with us so early from LA.
Super early. I'm here though.
No doubt, no doubt. And of course, we have Queen Mocha. What's up, Queen Mocha?
Hi, everybody. Good morning, Blah.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And yeah, first off, I just want to, and I'll probably say it again a little later when there's more people in the actual live stream. But you know, excuse us for missing a couple days. We took off a couple days. I had some money things to handle. I had some business that was thrown on my table that I needed to really handle. And the following day, a couple other of the hosts had the same pleasure. So we've been blessed to have, you know, some situations that are productive thrown on our table. So we handled those things. And like I told you in the past, unless it's money calling, we'll be here. So we have one chat that came in already, and I'm happy to see her here, Miss Ravioli. Miss Ravioli says hello.
Hi, Miss
Ravioli.
Good morning, Miss Ravioli. And we got the big homie Brooklyn Honcho just pulled up.
Brooklyn Honcho.
Yo, what's good?
Brooklyn Honcho, great supporter.
Yep. He says, yo, what's up, homie? You know what I mean? I'm still like tongue-tied and mumbling, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let's see if I got any coffee left.
A little bit. Get your nuts out the camera, boy.
Right.
And Antoinette says good morning. Good morning, Antoinette. Always good to see Antoinette in the chat as well. And yeah, that's what's up, man. I feel good. So once again, if you just came in the room, I was apologizing. You know what I mean? I'm not sorry because, you know, we had to do what we had to do, but I was apologizing that we had to leave you without a dope beat to step to for the past couple days. And that was because we had some business to handle. I know me, I had some business that was thrown on my table, some productive things that I need to handle. And when you're self-employed, you definitely have to take all opportunities, you know, that get placed on your table. So I definitely am happy to have made the connections that I made. And like I said, the co-host, same difference. The next day, then they had some things. So Steph actually, you know, Steph has a million jobs, as you guys like to say. So he has some things he's doing for his work as well for the next, I want to say 7 days or so. Maybe next week, I think this week and the next week. So but I'll get off of that topic. And Lovell says, what's up? What's up, Lovell? You know what I mean? And Lovell, hit me up. I'm gonna hit you up on IG. We definitely want to get you in on that conversation, like we spoke about pedophilia being somewhat legalized in California. So we definitely want to have you in that conversation. But really quick, Casey, have you heard about that? I know you're in California now. Have you heard about anything about that?
Well, what being legalized again?
Like pedophilia. They're saying pedophilia is being legalized in California.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
No. Okay, here's what it is, and here's why I really don't think it's too crazy. The law is too crazy, so it's about the years. So they're changing it. So like if you're like not 10 years older than a woman, it's going to be less problem. So let's say if you're like if the ages of consent is 17 or whatever, if you're 18, 19 and you're having sex with a 17-year-old, that wouldn't be illegal. You know what I mean? But if you're 28, whatever, and you are, that would be illegal. So people was pointing at issues like it could be a 24 and a 14-year-old, and that would be wrong, and I agree with them there. But if it's like a 21-year-old and a 17-year-old or a 19, 17, 18, and a 16-year-old, like if you're still in high school, I don't think that should. And then there have been issues where black men have been like high school age and have been sent to jail because they've had a girlfriend a year or two younger than them. So it's not pedophilia being legalized. It's kind of changed. And that's the law that they have in Florida. So that's why Tekashi, he had sex with a 17-year-old, but because he was only 21, you know what I mean, 22, he couldn't be charged anything. If he was 2 years older, he can be charged. So it's not really pedophilia being legalized. It's kind of just changing the law, which I'm honestly not that mad at because if an old ass dude like me, 45-year-old, is messing with a 17-year-old, yeah, lock me up. You know what I mean? But if you have a 18, 19-year-old might be dating a woman, you know what I'm saying, 2 years younger than him, I don't think he should be put in jail for that. So, but again, I feel when they pointed out that the extreme part of the law is 24 and 14, rather than being 19, 17. So I feel they could change that and maybe limit it to 16 total. Like, you know what I mean? I believe it should be, instead of 14, it should be 16. But they should have that year discrepancy in there, because you could be, you know, older in high school, or there could be it could be a real smart. There was a girl, she was older than me in college, and they would call her jailbait because she was a smart genius. So she was like a 16, 17-year-old sophomore. And, you know, all the old dudes is hollering at her in this situation. And she's mature enough to have sexual relationships, you know what I mean? And she's already a college student. So I didn't see any issue of her already being a sophomore, being a 16, 17-year-old. And she might have had like a 19-year-old boyfriend, you know what I'm saying? So,
all right, so I feel like we'll explore that more on another episode. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot. You know, like you said, there's other ways to look at it as well.
There's nuances.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
let me see. V, do you have like a fan in the background or something like that?
Yes, I can turn it down.
All right, cool. Thank you. So Mocha.
Yay!
How was your Labor Day? We didn't go live since Labor Day, so how's it?
It was okay. I went to some little type of soca party thing. It was all right. Oh, Labor Day itself, that Monday. I didn't do anything. But the day before,
the day before, you know.
Yeah, it's the weekend. Yes, I went to like some super soca drench party, and it was fine. I got drenched, and I left.
No doubt.
I started counting heads, like one too many heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta go. But it was nice. I wish I would have did something more to represent Haiti, to really, be out there with everybody in the masses, but not this time, guys.
No doubt. V, you was hanging out for Labor Day, right?
Yeah, we were definitely outside. They still had some type of band running through Flatbush, which was kind of cool.
That was nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where I was. And it was kind of nice. I went to like 2 barbecues. It was definitely a lot of heads there. The only thing I feel like I missed out on is getting paint or some type of oil and powder thrown on me. I truly do miss that, and I didn't get that this year. So that was kind of a little different, but it was kind of weird just to see New York just be so sad during Labor Day. Like, people were still trying to turn up, definitely, but everybody was I feel like a lot of people were missing that old vibe, that same, because think about it, like, there has not been a Labor Day parade in over 50 years. Like, this has been, I think, consecutively going for a long time, for as long as I've been alive. Like it's been a very long time.
I think it's been going on since the 60s. So
my grandmother said she said it's been going on since like late 60s, early 70s. So like over almost 50 years, that they, this is the first time it's been discontinued. So but in good spirit, all of the Caribbean still came out and had their backyard parties. So that was good.
All right. Well, we spoke about Labor Day in on the episode we did, the 31st episode, which was the last one we did. And we spoke about, we talked about, the parade, and for the people that's not from New York, we explained it to them. They asked questions. We spoke about Carnival, things of that nature. So with that being said,
how you gonna bring up the parade, not bring up my old spot on Nostrand, Logic? You wildin'.
Yeah, we used to really
talk about my old spot. I used to have the most lit spot on Eastern Parkway for the parade. Everyone would come to the crib, man.
Yeah, his spot was literally on the Parkway, so we'd be able to.
We had parties, man. Shout out to my old roommate Ikuri.
Yeah, shout out to Ikuri, word.
Rastafarian doctor. So we used to have all sorts of reggae artists, models, like DJs pulling up to the to our little Eastern Parkway soirees. I wish we had a rooftop. Those would be the most lit.
Right.
Oh, that would have been hot.
They on the rooftop jamming up on that. So
yeah. Well,
but I was glad they didn't have it. I would have been mad if everyone was a party and I was stuck in LA.
Look at him.
Nah, so I'm gonna go to the comments, but I want to talk about Labor Day really quick. Some sad things happened. Franchise Catering says, "Good morning, Rantis. Salute to you. Salute, that's Steph right there." Virginia Slim says, "Peace and good morning. Peace and good morning, Slim. You know what I mean? Always good to see you." Brooklyn Honcho says, "Wet T-shirt party." And Yeah. So yeah. Wait, who was at the wet t-shirt party? Was it you, Mocha?
Huh?
Who was at the wet t-shirt party?
I was at a drenched party.
She said drenched t-shirt party.
It was not wet. He was walking out there. I was like this at the end.
Oh, a sweat bar.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I don't even know if I can make it in a sweatbox party no more. I've been to so many. I lose 10 pounds.
They had buckets. They were throwing it on everybody. And had a whole bunch of makeup on, it was coming down. It was horrible, gross.
All right. Slim says, yo, y'all can have that carnival in NY. 7 people got clapped, including a 6-year-old boy. We're going to talk about that really quick. Hemp Lord says, good morning, fam. Good morning, Hemp Lord. Light up. And World Financial Group. Good morning. Good morning, World Financial Group. So we spoke about how it also gets dangerous. And so eventually, apparently it happened. So I think we should note, the fact that somebody.
But they always, if you look at it, the Labor Day weekend have the same shooting as every other weekends, right? But they always make it a big deal after. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not no real big escalation in terms of everything else, but you know what I'm saying? Like, if someone got shot on any regular weekend, they'd be like, whatever. And that's a shame, a 6-year-old girl, but New York been wild since I left. It seemed like every weekend in New York been wild since I left, since I've been reading the news. So
Dolphy Production says Grand
Rising. When there wasn't no parade, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Dolphy Production says Grand Rising. Good morning to you. And
Grand Rising.
Yeah. So with that being said, I hear you, and we're gonna play the video, and then we're gonna speak about it really quick. And I have my own opinions about that, but we'll play the video and then we'll talk about it really quick.
Shootings come after a violent Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, here are the disturbing numbers. 28 people were injured in shootings over the long Labor Day weekend. That includes the 5 people shot just blocks from the unofficial celebration of Juve Festival in Brooklyn. A teenager now charged with this shooting.
Eyewitness News reporter Stefan Kim is live in Crown Heights with the very latest. Stefan.
Well, Liz and Bill, the surging gun violence has been bad when a 6-year-old was shot, and the mayor calls that a good weekend. But the police commissioner says the numbers do show that this weekend was on par with previous years. And he says it's because temporarily cops got the resources they needed to do their jobs.
We moved resources around budgetarily, et cetera, and, that'll come back to at a time when we won't be able to spend it on something else.
Police Commissioner Dermot Shea touting a 25-year high in gun arrests for 1 week. In fact, Chief of Department Terrence Monahan tweeting 87 illegal guns were taken off the streets over the Labor Day weekend alone. And arresting this morning, the 15-year-old, they say, shot 5 people in Crown Heights. But the commissioner warning, money for the extra overtime patrols was a one-time boost for the NYPD.
We're going to have to pay for it, Pat. That's the bottom line.
We had one incident, and it's a very troubling incident, where one individual shot 5 people. One of those people was a 6-year-old boy, and that's deeply troubling. Except for that incident, overwhelmingly, we had a peaceful weekend in central Brooklyn.
That 6-year-old boy was shot in Crown Heights over Labor Day weekend, was caught in the middle of a violent shootout. His mother, Patricia, shot in her foot, speaking to Eyewitness News last night before heading back to the hospital to be by her son's side.
The bullet went through both legs. So one leg, it hit just muscle, and his other leg, it shattered his bone.
It happened 3 a.m. Labor Day morning as they were arriving home, exiting a cab. This surveillance video shows the crowd scrambling for their lives on the corner of Nostrand Avenue and Crown Street in Crown Heights, moments after gunfire tore through the streets.
The gun violence was down. It was just a fact. We will never be able to all deal with every incident of gun violence.
Public advocate Jumaane Williams, meanwhile, a frequent NYPD critic, today saying he sees the need for law enforcement, but says the solution to gun violence lies within the community.
Police by themselves cannot solve this problem. How much more of a police presence would you have wanted in these communities?
Now, meanwhile, cops this morning arrested a 15-year-old for firing those shots here, charged with attempted murder, assault, and gun possession. Police say he is a reputed gang member.
All right, so there you have it. They arrested the young man who actually, shot the people who was in the shootout that resulted in people getting shot. Innocent people being shot. And Casey, you made a point saying that that over exaggerated, where in this case the mayor seemed to say that it was good. outside of that. You know what I mean? So they wasn't blaming it on us as, you know, maybe some things would happen in the past. And I'm gonna let you speak your piece again. But V, you want to speak on this situation?
Yeah, you know, so crazy. Even as me and one of my close friends were hanging out in the park, we were talking about this actually, saying that a lot of times when it comes to the Labor Day festivities and stuff, they always talk about these shootings. But personally, I never get a chance to see them. I'm always in the midst of Juve. I'm at the parade, like, but I never see all of these shootings that always get reported a day or two later. Not to say that they don't exist, but I just don't physically get a chance to see these things myself. So we were saying that a lot of times these things were amplified or heightened. But when it comes to this little boy being shot, I think it's a very, very unfortunate situation. And I think that even if it wasn't Labor Day, something like this could possibly happen. They had another situation where some 14-year-old girl got shot in Brownsville, and the nigga was literally shooting backwards as he was running. You know, these dudes now have no aim. I don't know how this... Right.
I mean, remember the season in The Wire where homie with Omar and they having a shootout outside and he wound up killing his own homegirl? Shooting like that.
Very similar. So it's like a lot of these young kids, they get access to guns, and you know, where are the fathers? Where are the parents? You know, and I'm not saying that kids can't get away with things that parents won't know about, but there has to be some structure set within the child that would give that child the knowledge to say, hey, this is the wrong thing to do. We're not always going to be around our parents or our family, but the knowledge should be instilled in children so that they know, hey, this is not okay to be doing. And for some reason, that I feel sorry for the 16-year-old boy as well, because he wasn't given the proper knowledge to not go outside and shoot and kill people. Not only did he actually kill somebody else, but now his life is ruined as well. So it's a very sad and unfortunate situation. And I think that we have to really start focusing on, you know, our approach to the youth, because they are our future. And I need these niggas to carry me around when I get old. So they got to get their shit together.
All right, Mocha, do you have anything to say about the situation?
It is a very unfortunate situation. I have seen people get shot right in front of our face at Labor Day parades, you know, stabbed, you know, I got robbed. You know, things happen during Labor Day parade, but you know, you keep going back because you just say, okay, this year is going to be different. It's going to be better. And each year there's always something happening. It's really unfortunate. It was 3:00 in the morning for that 6-year-old to be coming home with his parents at that time.
Oh, he was out. Oh, wow.
You know,
I didn't know what time it was.
3:00 in the morning, late. That's late to be bringing a baby home at that time, during a time like that. So it is sad. It is really unfortunate. That little boy, that 15-year-old boy, has no future. He's going to be locked up for a very long time. And that's basically his whole life, you know? Mm-hmm. So we do have to monitorize these kids before they go outside. Yo, you may have to shake them up a little bit. Hey, what you got in your foot? What you got in your sock? Because we don't know what they really going out with. They going out with knives too. They stabbing people too. So it's like these teenage boys, it's happening in Chicago too. Another little boy just shot a little kid, you know, so it's happening a lot across the world. You know, it's just they put an extra on it when it comes down to Labor Day. They do.
They didn't in this scenario. The mayor actually said it was a good Labor Day weekend outside of that. But Casey, do you want to?
Oh yeah, man. I think I have a little bit of insight into the situation. So I've been going to Labor Day parades for 30 years. Like I said, I lived on the Parkway before for 4 years, and then every year from now I would come back to that same place. And I've never even really seen a fight, not even a fist fight or nothing. You know what I mean? And then I have my homies right behind there on Lincoln. You know what I mean? Right between Lincoln and Franklin. One of my good friends, that's his block. Been out there to their barbecues. It's been nothing but peaceful. I have avoided Juve though, only because I've been an old man. I need my sleep, and I have heard of these incidents, and it's really unfortunate. One time there was I think he was an aide to a city councilman, and a friend of mine, was a professional, like Ivy League educated guy, and he just got hit by a stray, died. And there was another incident. There was a college student, by all accounts, really hardworking college student, and some dude tried to holler at her. She told him no, and his drunk, stupid ass wound up shooting and killing her. And that really disgusted me and made me, think about the youth in ways that you have. And this is to what you said. Not only is this weekend comparable to Labor Days before, but the crime rate in New York since COVID has hit has doubled. You know what I'm saying? It's back to like 2000, not the crack era, but to 2000s. And I'm kind of really out of the streets as a grown man. So like my view into the streets is mostly through hip hop music. And I'll be listening to Pop Smoke and following the careers of these young kids. And it seems like these kids they really don't respect other black men's lives. You know what I mean? They'll kill a black man and glorify it and joke about it, which is even in my day, and I'm not acting like these kids are any bad or worse, but they're different. In my day, you might have some killings, but then they would be sad, like a gang member died and he was on the other side, it would be like R.I.P. But now instead of R.I.P., it's rest in peace, and it's really, it seems to me that the respect for black life, if that person ain't in your gang, is so low. And we've seen it in Chicago, and we've seen it kind of transport into New York in terms of these new gangs. And I think it's for a variety of reasons. Is a lot of the OGs is locked up, so the morals from the older gang members and the principles is not following down onto the new generation. And like you talked about, lack of father figures. So we're having a generation that's kind of reckless, and that's when you get people shooting bow, 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 you know, rather than an OG who might have taught them to aim. You know what I'm saying? Taught them how to use a gun. rather than a OG or a young G who just give them a gun and be like, yo, anyone test you, just let off. So I think we're having a lot of different conditions. And I'm saying, like, I came up in the crack era where the violence was even crazier than now, where you had people letting off like this. So I'm not going to act like this youth is any more wilder or violent than my generation, but they are different. And the crime rate has been really declining for a long time, especially in cities. A lot of the reasons is gentrification has moved out some of the poorer people who might get involved in crime. They can't even afford to live out there, so it moves out to Long Island, Rockland County, etc. So a lot of the reason we've seen such a lack of decline since the crack era is because of gentrification. And also, black people need to get some credit. We chilled out, you know what I mean? Like, we realized we had self-destruction. We had black people fighting against this, you know what I mean? So, but now we're getting a kind of resurgence. COVID, these kids is young and reckless. They can't go to school. They ain't got to do nothing, do energy. What do they have to do? Let off fireworks at night. You know what I mean? Beef during the day. Social media. It's been a major factor.
I don't mean to laugh at your point, but my man in the comments put the wrap it up box.
That's it, man. That's how I feel about the situation.
All right, yeah. Some solid points, though. Some solid points. I'm gonna go to the comments before I even bring up my take on it, because I feel like between you guys in the comments, there's some solid points, and I want to address them all. First off, Kalila says, "Grand Rising all." Grand Rising to you, Kalila. Good morning. And Keenan Kong says, "Why would anybody raise a family in a place like that?" Crown Heights is pretty cool, man. There's things that happen in Crown Heights, but Crown Heights is pretty cool. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, yeah, there's crime in Brooklyn, but Brooklyn is a really nice place to live. And you know, I'm not giving gentrification any props, but since gentrification, it's even more beautified. And you know, there's even so the fact that we still live there is a good thing, because you want to live where they're kind of like investing more into the community. Granted, they're trying to push
concerts. Like we lived in Brooklyn. We went to how many free concerts we go to, Logic? Just in the park, Laurel Hill, whoever, free this. Let's go.
Yeah. Brooklyn is.
If you can afford to live in Brooklyn, it's lit. But unfortunately, too many of us people of color have been pressed out because you couldn't afford. I'm lucky to get hookups, $500 rent, plugs here and there to afford to live in Brooklyn. But a lot of people ain't.
Right. So, Brooklyn is a dope place to live. So, but Keenan, salute. Brooklyn Honcho says 6-year-old kid, 3 a.m. party hour equals eyewitness news. So apparently the kid was coming home with their parent. So they weren't at the party. I'm not saying that can't happen, but they were coming home. So they could have been coming home from a family party. You know what I mean? I've stayed out late when I was young with my family at a family party and then had to end up coming home late. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily the kid was just hanging out at 3 a.m. though. You know what I mean? But I hit a point though. Lord Velna Lee says, all that essential brown booty around and you want to shoot? What the fuck? Yeah, man. Unfortunately, you know, dudes don't care about that, especially when they really willing to risk their life to go to jail for the rest of their life. Obviously, they don't care about, you know, the female companion in that situation. Virginia Slim says, yeah, why was little man out at 3 a.m.? Like I was saying, they said they were coming home. They were actually coming out of a cab before they got shot. Brooklyn Honcho says, because NYC is the best place for a childhood before the overflow of guns from the South. So he's responded to Keenan. So Brooklyn is a dope place to live. New York in general is a dope place to live. You do grow up fast though. I will say that. You will grow up really fast, but at the same time, it is a dope place to live as a child. Keenan Kong says, they said he was getting out of a cab with mom, right? He was. Yeah. Salute Redemption. She says, salute to all, salute to you. Always good to see you here. Dolphy Production says, all my life since knowing the Labor Day, someone always loses their life. Excuse me. It's a tragic situation when the street / gang members continue to raise our kids. Where do we start? Does anybody want to answer that? While I clear my throat. You got children, Mocha. Why don't you start? Where do we start?
You start with the inside out. You know, morals, teachable moments for the kids, and giving them curfews too. You know, I believe it starts there. I mean, if there's no father figure in the house, you got to do it by yourself. I
mean, you got to look at society too in mass incarceration. A lot of young black men who might have fathers and they might have been involved in nonviolent drug dealing or something because of the lack of opportunities out there. Next thing you know, they're in jail. Their kid now, he has no father figure. And a lot of these kids, when you go to jail off some nonviolent stuff, the only thing you could do once you go to jail is join a gang, or else you'll get And then once you come out of jail off a stupid nonviolent drug offense, you're not going to be able to get a job. So the only way you can make money is going back to the gang shit. So it's a society thing, and we really need to fight the system as well as work within our community to make these changes.
Well, you definitely got the influences of the world. And I think no matter what community you're raised in, there's going to be influences of the world that can put your child on the wrong track. You can be raised in a so-called, quote unquote, good neighborhood, an all white neighborhood where it looks good on the outside, but they're doing all types of pills and all types of weird drugs, and kids are dying from doing these drugs. You know what I mean? So I think that's just a universal problem. How do you keep your child away from the influences of the world? You know what I mean? So I don't know if there's one answer for that or a blanket statement I can address with that. But I think with both parents, with one parent, is the same, you know, it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, I know, granted, I mean, I don't know. Me personally,
I'll definitely disagree with you.
Let me finish and then you can disagree though. I'll let you, you know what I mean? But I was raised with a good parent, you know what I'm saying? And I had all the great influences. You know, I didn't have both parents growing up. I mean, I knew my father. I was in touch with him. I was able to go. He was in another state though, so I would have to go to another state to be with him, right? But at the same time, outside the home, there were certain things that were happening in the street that you felt like you had to take place. You had to partake in it to be kind of like not a victim. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you don't want to be a victim, you kind of got to be down with certain shit. You know what I mean? It's at least what you thought. So I think you have to influence your community if you don't want your community to influence your child. You know what I'm saying? In that regards. But go ahead, Casey.
I'm in the same situation as you. My father lived in another state, but I would still see him in Thanksgiving. He would still bring me to Jamaica. And sometimes it's better to grow up with parents living maybe in different states or away from each other than parents who don't get along and they're fighting and living together. You know, so sometimes the co-parent happens like that, but it is still important, even if the father's not in that household, for children, especially men. I'm not gonna say women as well. I'm not, especially men and especially women, because women will be gravitated to men. I like their father, you know. So it's really important for men, even if you can't be in a relationship, to still have a very strong presence in children's life. And I know Black women are really strong and they can do it by themselves, but help is always better. You know what I'm saying? Help is always better. I had a very strong mother, but I definitely had help from my father's family, people in the neighborhood, everywhere. It takes a village and families to raise children, and we as men are part of these villages. You know what I mean? So it's not just, it's father figures, it's male role models, it's a lot of stuff. And if they can't find these male role models as fathers, as teachers, as youth advocates, they're gonna find them in the local gangs, and the big homie will now be their father figure, their mentor, and he's gonna lead them into probably a life of destruction. And the big homies is getting younger, so they don't even got no experience. You getting 19, 18-year-old big homies of the gang who might have charisma, they might be young, but they don't have the experience in the streets of working with the cops, not working with the cops, but seeing what the cops are doing, beefing with the other gangs, maybe even shooting and getting your correct target. You know what I'm saying? So,
all right. So Virginia Slim says they have a stash spot, Mocha. They hardly even keep weapons at home. It's a good point. You know what I mean? So that goes back to my earlier point as well. Is like you can do your best, but if your community is, influence them to do something else, you know what I mean? And they might indulge. But I think if I would give advice to any parents out there, I think the best thing to do is to keep your child busy, because even when the child is making a conscious decision not to be in the street, one of the things that keep them out the street is literally to stay busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you have to have extracurricular activities that you don't want to lose. You know what I mean? Like they say, an idle mind is the devil's playground, right? So if your child don't have nothing but school and home, then they gonna fuck around. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah. Louisville in the league says y'all carnivals sound like our TSU parades in Nashville. Someone always want to shoot the ops with children and elders around. And I'm gonna agree with that. And that goes to one of the points that I wanted to make. So I know you don't want to blame the violence on Labor Day parade, Casey. But me personally, I see that I've seen for years that every time Labor Day parade comes around, we still go, but all of those people there in one spot, you know what I mean? It kind of leads, hold on, let me finish my point, but it kind of leads to a situation where it gives a blanket to people to come and do dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody gets to come now, right? Where they might not even have went to that particular block if it wasn't for the party or this parade where everybody all over the city can come to this one spot. And now people congregate in this one spot and they see their ops, you know what I mean? They quote unquote ops, and they take the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying we should cancel the parade, and I'm not saying that we should let the police us all crazy like they've been doing the past few years, where they've been actually, being a little reckless at the Juves and things like that. But at the same time, something got to happen, because it is an opportunity for beef. And I've seen it myself. I've seen it plenty of times. I've seen fights at Labor Day parade. I know people who went to jail for killing people at the Labor Day parade. I know people who lost people at the Labor Day parade. You know what I mean? So I do think it's an opportunity for some shit to happen that might have not happened, unless they slow each other out of a situation like that.
I mean, you see the same thing Memorial Day in Miami, where you have a big congregation of people. And unfortunately, like you did say, when people get together, the chances are very high that you might see someone you don't like. Like, I love the Labor Day parade because I don't got no beef with nobody. But I might see a girl I like. I might see a homie. So it's lit. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't got no beef with anybody. But I'm sure if I did, the chances would be very high of me bumping into them and something popping off. And I feel like, especially with this COVID thing, like, how do we address, like, people getting together? Like, Logic will know, I love big crowds. I love carnivals. I love parties. I love free concerts, all this. And I've seen at so many levels, like, such wonderful Black peaceful events. Every year I go to Martha's Vineyard, it was like a Black bourgeois place. And it's just love, 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 love. Hello, how you doing? People on the streets just saying, they assume you Black, bougie, whatever. It's all love.
It's good energy to have. It's a really, really good energy to have big crowds and to have people come together.
Yeah.
But it is still also an opportunity for these situations. But I think that these people are in these situations. They already know that, because if a dude got beef on the streets, he has beef on the streets anyways. So that was going to inevitably happen no matter what. But I guess sometimes these people in these sticky situations, they find these parades and these gatherings as the excuse. They find that these, oh, now I could go get this nigga and not be caught type shit.
Yeah, for the distraction and all the stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is just so you know, I wasn't making it up. Keenan definitely said wrap it up B earlier, Casey. Fred Childs was laughing. Dolphy Production says Brooklyn stand up, and Brooklyn Hunter says, I bet if they offer $1,000 instead of $100 for the guns in the street, that would possibly lower the crime rate. I mean, I think those would just be flipping guns.
That Logic and I were in a gang called Monkey Gang. We actually had a Toys for Guns drive too, and all the kids who brought their toys in, we would give them guns. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to stay strapped in the streets. So we understand how programs like that are effective.
Sounds like
shameless plug.
Y'all was on to something. Y'all was on to something. I should have switched it up. Y'all was on to something. That sounds good.
It wasn't Logic and Casey though. It was Bullet and Murder Homicide. It was Bullet and Murder Homicide.
I hate y'all names.
So Laura Velna Lee says, every time I'm in NYC, I come to Brooklyn. It's one of my favorite places. Exactly. Brooklyn is a dope place to be. Brooklyn Honcho says, Vanessa advertising her new movie early in the morning. All that ass, 33. The camera was still on when she got up. So
I'm sorry. I apologize, people.
You knew I was coming, man.
This is the second time this has ever happened.
They got one time it ain't never happened in again.
Oh my God, I can't.
It's gonna happen. Kelso says, free all the victims of over sentencing stemming from nonviolent crimes. I agree with that 100%. Kelso also says, peace, good people, peace to you. And Brooklyn Honcho says, no complaints from me. Kelso says, fuck media for only showing us black men who are drug dealers, hoopers, prison rappers, and gang culture. Yeah, that's a fact. Speaking of Casey's joke earlier, we made a movie about that, about gang culture and hip hop music and media, and it was called Monkey Gang. You know what I'm saying? So that's what he was referring to. So we definitely never did guns for toys drive. We
never gave guns to the youth. We actually both worked in the Bronx with youth, trying to show them positive alternatives to gang life. So.
Yeah, and Kelso says also the economy has parents too busy to even monitor their kids. Cost of living has parents at home for 2 to 3 hours a night. It's also time to go to bed and get back up. Only time to go to bed and back to work. And he also says alcohol/drugs and mass groups, economically poor people, is a recipe for disaster 10 times 10.
It's also a recipe for fun, though. That's another thing you have to realize.
But they could take some of them away. It's on every corner of these liquor spots. And then inside the hoods where these kids is really irate, I think they should take it out. I don't know. I think they should take it out. But no, Jah, you brought up a point about keeping them busy. You know, that's a really great point. I think now is the time to keep them busy.
And that's what Latchkey Kids, and this is why, like, what Logic and I did is we worked in the Bronx. We ran after school programs for the youth. You know what I'm saying? And like I would teach them like how to get in the music business. And these was the kids that who might have, if they weren't in our after school programs, they would probably look for mentorship, leadership, people like me and him in the streets, right? Yeah. And I'm real proud of what I did there. I didn't think I was doing much, but I see my students and they go, I don't know if I had anything to do with it, but they're college educated. They got jobs in the entertainment business that I kind of set them out for the blueprint for. So in this economy where you have that, the replication for that is definitely more after school programs. One of the few good things the police do is the police athletic league for basketball. Like I was never the best basketball player growing up, but I played it a lot and it kept me from maybe doing other things. There was a youth center I grew up that was like a safe haven when everything was going wild, when they was having fireworks fights outside, shootouts. I felt safe because the OGs at the youth center, everyone respected. I never felt I could get beat up, robbed, or jumped in there. When outside, it was very
it was crazy.
Nothing could happen. So shout out to all the youth centers, all the youth programs that offset the fact that parents might not be able to be there for their kids after they get home and work from school at 3 and the parents got to work till 7. So shout out to all the youth centers and people. And
the youth advocates. Chris Jones says, good morning, my good peoples. Good morning to you, Chris Jones. Salute to you. Let me see.
What else we talking about?
Laurel says, Monkey Gang is a classic. It's a cult classic, sir. Thank you. It is a cult classic. I think every time we put people onto the movie, they either love or hate it. And I feel like great work is either loved or hate. You know what I mean? Like people, it's never really people on the fence about it. They're always like either I fuck with that shit the long way or fuck that shit, right? So, but I agree with you. Monkey Gang is a cult classic. And usually when I put people onto it, even though Monkey Gang turns 10 years old next year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, our first film turns 10 years old next year. So
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so I feel like, you know, even when we still do screenings for it, like I still was doing screenings for it. Like I think up to like a few years ago, I was still screening it different places. I think the last place I screened it was in LA. I screened it again in LA at a AC spot over there off of Venice. But yeah, like every
I
time,
was there.
yeah,
I was there before quarantine, but that was my first time there actually.
Yeah, so salute to him. But every time, you know, we show it to people, they more times they love it, especially if they're of the hip hop culture. Lorville says, I see more drugs than get more. Is the song maybe we'll play the song for you guys later. Is I sell more crack than you, bust more gas than you. And Muhammad Shakur is throwing the monkey signs up.
Oh God.
And Virginia Slim says, where can I check out Monkey Gang? So right now the actual the actual website is under maintenance, so it's down right now. But what I'll do is I'll eventually do a film night on this channel, and we'll just play it on this channel. And then Casey and I and a few other homies that were involved with the film will possibly do a Q&A, and you know, we'll play it on this channel for you guys. That's a fact. And towards the end of the end of this episode, we'll play the trailer. How about that? We'll play the trailer and maybe even the song that the Monkey Gang came out with, which is called "I Sell More Crack Than You." All right, they had a song called "I Sell More Crack Than You" in the film, so we'll play that for you. And Lord Velnally says, "Oh shit, Muhammad's in the building. Here comes Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, and Dr. Khalid, all in one person." So salute. And yeah, so with that being said, I do want to get into some good news. I feel like this bad news is, you know, dampering the morning. You know, I hope that the young man who was shot, I hope he gets well. You know what I mean? And we got some more comments coming in. Kelso says, "Be proud, brother. Thank you. Sometimes a change of options can make a great change." I agree. Brooklyn Hunter says, "Logic, I can understand when the money call, you gotta go, but can I tell the money call? Hold on, but I can tell the money gonna call you more. What y'all gonna do?"
Take it.
I think if the money calls more often, you know what I mean, we're gonna have to put some things in place to you know, have other people host the show and I can't do it. So I think the problem is when the money calls me, like I'm the host and producer. So there can't be a show without me on the boards, right? And then if the money calls multiple of my co-hosts at one time, then that's a situation where I'm not going to just do the show on my own, because the nature of the show is a panel discussion on these situations. You know what I'm saying? So maybe, you know, people like yourself and maybe if I can get a few more other producers down with the network, we'll still be able to have shows when I'm not available to produce, you know what I mean? But we do have this past couple days, because we definitely didn't want to miss both days. This past couple days made me reach out to some more people that I know will go really well on the show. So behind the scenes, I am having talks with people that can produce and people that will go great on the show. So I feel like in the next week or so, you're going to see a lot more people come on the show, and you're going to see a lot more personalities that I think will go well. And you guys can tell us if you like them or not, but I think you're going to get introduced to those people. And then what's going to happen is we're going to go into this last quarter of the year stronger than we started in this quarter. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate everybody who takes us serious, who wakes up to our show in the morning, and tolerates us when we're late and sticks around when we go over. You know, we got the best audience on YouTube, if you ask me. Muhammad Shakur says, "I sell more crack than you. I bust more gats than you. Get more ass than you, pack more crack and ass than you, because I sell more crack than you." That's a fact. That's how it went. That's exactly how it went. And that was my character who actually said the hook in the movie. Brooklyn Hunter says, "I'm available." That's a fact. We're gonna get you cammed up. We're gonna do a sound check, and I definitely would love to have you on the show, Brooklyn Hunter. We spoke about that behind the scenes. We're gonna make that happen. And he says, "Not that UK girl." I don't know what UK girl you're referring to, but the other, you might be talking about the woman who's from Canada via France. She's dope to me. So I don't know if you're saying you don't want to see her, but I think she's dope to me if you're talking about K. Let me see. We got one more comment, and Kelso said, "I sell more crack than you." And he's laughing. So Yeah, so I guess we're gonna have to play that for you guys. You know what I mean? We'll play that for you towards the end of the episode, or at the end of the episode. We'll definitely play that for you. And let's get to some good news. This is some news that we didn't get a chance to get to. I wanted to get to this news since last week, and even though it's later, as you know, the motto of this show, or you know what I like to say on the show, is we talk about current and current-ish news, and we like to help you come and form your own conclusion. You know what I mean? So even if it's a little bit late, we're still going to get to it if it's on the table to talk about. So this is some news I think we need to take serious. And they talk about 19 families purchasing 96 acres of land to create a safe haven for Black people, which I think is long overdue. And this news comes to us from Yahoo News, but I think there are a lot of people talking about it right now. And I'm going to read some of it as the commercial plays, and then I'll play the video. In the face of a pandemic that hits Black Americans harder than almost any other group, while the nation continues to confront the toxic legacy of slavery and Jim Crow, 2 Georgia women have come together to build a community that will be a place free from oppression, a tight-knit community for all our people to come and just breathe. They're calling it Freedom Georgia, and draw their inspiration from Wakanda, the fictional comic book country that was a setting for the movie Black Panther. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this video, and if they leave anything left to be understood, then we'll just read some of the rest of the actual article. But I'll play the video that's detailing the scenario.
We are the buying power. If we can just teach each other to circulate our dollars within the community, we will solve our own problems. We are literally the answer to our own problems, but we have to change our thinking and come together. My name is Renee Walters, and I am the president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. I have a Black husband. I have a Black son. Every time he would leave out for work or just to go to the store or anything, I would have a sense of anxiety just from watching everything that we've been going through lately with the pandemic and watching our Black men being murdered on national television in front of everybody. It kind of just all shook us by storm. It's now time for us to get our friends and family together and build for ourselves. That's the only way we'll be safe. That's the only way that this will work. We have to start bringing each other together. Well, we are looking to get amenities on the land. We want to have a place where you can have weddings, a nice retreat. We'll have tiny homes. We really just want you to come and hang out and feel safe. You don't have to worry about the Karens of the world and anything like that. You just come and have fun. We'll have a sportsman area with fishing, hunting, shooting range, ATV trails. We really just want to build a tight-knit community for our people to just come and breathe together. I know they have a bad stigma that, Black people can't come together, but just like how Black Wall Street, their dollars circulated around 11 times before it left the community. And that's just something we want to bring back. We want to encourage businesses to come, and we want to circulate our dollar within the community before it leaves out to someone else. We want to make everybody in our areas wealthy. Well, every time we go to the land and in the actual cities, like we haven't received any backlash. Everyone is really nice and welcoming. It's the internet trolls, the negativity in the world, like, you guys are going to fail. Isn't this segregation? This is not what Martin Luther King stood for. And it's not us segregating ourselves. It's just we're building where we can come and be safe. Like, Chinatown has these areas. You go up and down Buford Highway, you can't even read some of the signs because it's not in our language, and nobody has a problem. And why is it that when we want to build, we're considered racist or we're segregating ourselves? Why can't we have our own safe haven? Every community has them. Everyone is welcome in freedom, but it is basically based on seeing Black people flourish, and that's all we want, because every time we try to, somebody tried to burn it down, or we got some type of backlash, and I'm just tired of that. It's time for us to build our own.
Salute to those people. Salute to that woman and her her collective. I'm gonna let you guys speak on it first. But that's my automatic. That's what I have to say automatically. Like salute to them. But Vanessa, thoughts?
This is amazing, and this is exactly what I'm talking about when Black people are taking action. They're not sitting around talking about things, they're actually doing something productive. And she's absolutely right. You can go all across this country and find different pockets of land attributed to different cultures and different groups of people. And I think Black people deserve that as well. We do deserve to have a safe place and a safe haven for our people to be comfortable to, you know, to go, that's specifically designated for us. I think that this needs to be the not only the beginning and the end of this either. This needs to be the starting charge for Black people all across America and across the world to really start to buy up land, gather up places, and get together and create, you know, societies for our future generations to come. I think that this is a brilliant thing. I can't wait to see what comes of this, and I would love to go and visit as soon as this opens.
Well, I do want to say it's not the first though, as well. Well, not even in history. I'm talking about in our time. There is another town. I forget where it is, but my friend did a piece for it for the Root, and I'll try to find that as well.
Not Prince.
Okay.
Yeah, he did a piece on a town that's all Black.
Yo, he's doing really amazing work at the Root. I'm really proud of him. Like really highlighting a lot of, especially in an era where a lot of the in Black media highlights negativity or anti-white or bad stuff Black people are doing.
Right.
Or Black men are bad. My
Right.
man Prince over at the Root is consistently putting out positive content, highlighting Black intellectuals like me. Shout out to me. Check out my joint with Prince about Inside the CIA, Secret War in Jamaica. But also the people doing really positive things in the marijuana business in terms of
Right, but we're going to stick to the subject real quick. But Mocha, what's your thoughts on the Black town in Georgia?
No, I think it's wonderful. I wonder which part of Georgia it is in, because I would love to go there. You know, a Black resort. Come on. I mean, for the most part, if they would put housing in there, they could do it too. The opportunity is large for us, and only Black. If they stick with only Black, I feel like, you know, once they start letting the others come in, I don't think they're gonna have it as long as we should. But more and more, I'm seeing more and more of this too. We're starting to own more spaces, starting to own more land, and we're bringing us together. And I think it's wonderful. And I can't wait to be a part of it.
Casey, your thoughts on the Black town?
I was just thinking today about a whole new economic philosophy based on Ujamaa, which is cooperative economics, one of the principles of Kwanzaa. So, and I think that's very important, not in just in terms of how we get spaces to build communities, but even in communities we live in. New York, like New York still has a Black community. New York still has a Chinatown community, even though it's generally integrated into a larger area. And if you look at, you know, successful ethnic groups like the Koreans have something called a pot, and a whole bunch of families, friends connect in the same community. They put money into that pot, and then when one person in that community says, "Yo, I need to buy a grocery store or a business," they take money out of that pot, they put that in, and they put it back out. And also, if you look at the Jewish community in terms of their real estate, they're not even allowed to sue each other. If they got beef or an issue with each other, they got to settle it outside in their own system. So you see why that has allowed them to be so successful in real estate, right? If you look at Crown Heights, all over Brooklyn, especially the Orthodox Jewish community has been really successful in maintaining real estate by working with each other, not beefing within the economic system, but working out their problems themselves. So I'm with that for a greater sense. I'm mixed. I'll fuck with some white people if they want to. What I want to do is I want to get a gated community, get all my friends, hopefully have kids the same age, right? All kids the same age. We got our home schools in right there in the gated community. You know what I'm saying? And I'm with anybody, bro. It could be Black people, as long as united under a common goal of upliftment and being positive. I would love to build these communities, and it's very possible. And it's also a very good way to counteract gentrification, because they are taken away from these Black communities in all these major cities with such great history, and they're kind of erasing the history of these Black communities. And I feel like one thing we should learn is we don't own no land here, right? So and we could shout out Brooklyn, we could do this, but at the end of the day, we don't own the land there. So our community is really the people. You know what I mean? It's not the land there. So if we could, all my friends from Brooklyn, if we want to get a spot in Nebraska, Wyoming, build it up, make it lit, you know what I'm saying? that's our new Brooklyn, and that energy is better than anything where a cold ass New York. And we see how New York can just come and go like that. I went to LA for a meeting and I came back and I stayed. Like a city can come and go, but your friends and your support system and your community will always be there.
Yeah, and you know, not to mention when you go back to New York after not living in New York, it always changes. You can leave New York for a month and come back like, what the fuck is this?
Mm-hmm.
But so let me say,
we do need more for ourselves. Though.
Yeah, that's a fact. So let me go to these comments. Chris Jones says, y'all the new Breakfast Club, but with more serious and fuck shit comments as well. Salute. Salute. I appreciate that. Laurel in the league says, I'm glad they have guns on the land just in case it pops off. I think that's a must. And they're going to also have to have, you know, obviously their own, you know, security system. You know what I'm saying? So not just guns, but they're going to have their own, you know, I don't know, militia, whatever you want to call it. They're going to have something to protect themselves. That's a fact. 4 pounds said, pow, tuned into White People Court. White People Court is on Sundays, and that's on Straight Up in the Morning. That's our weekend morning show here at the Rant Network. But definitely tune into Straight Up in the Morning, you know, Saturday and Sunday. And once again, Sundays is when they hold White People Court. Salute to Straight Up in the Morning. You know, those are some good people right there. And that show is definitely fire. Chris Jones says, I like that video. I appreciate what she's saying. Me too. I really was proud of her when she was saying it. I didn't feel like it was cultish. I didn't feel no ulterior motive besides just the necessity of us needing our own. I didn't see that they was pushing the agenda of some type of belief system. It was just, let's have our own. If you want to be part of this, come through. And I didn't feel that she was being like really narcissistic anyway, neither. Like she didn't have a savior mentality. A lot of people do something good and try to make you look up to them like they're your savior. I didn't feel that from her. And I also felt like, you know, she was definitely open to people joining, you know, what they had to do. And if you not joining them, you can do it yourself. I didn't hear her say anything like, we the only people doing that. So a lot of people do good things. And they like to tell you how they're the only people who did it and how nobody thought of it. And why, look at what are you doing? And you know what I'm saying? All of these, like, you know, patronizing the people and shit when we just want to be proud of you. So I felt like she was also saying like, look, if you want to do it as well. You know what I mean? Because Chinatown is all over the country. You know what I'm saying?
It needs to be done.
It needs to be done. Exactly. So salute to them. I really felt that. What you saying, Mocha?
Definitely. The Jews did it. I see them. They got a restaurant right across the street from us now. So it's like, where did that come from? You know what I'm saying?
There's more than restaurants. I mean, we got a restaurant, but they have their own police, their own ambulances. They have all of that in Crown Heights. Brooke Honcho says, until somebody wants to get high and start pumping illegals, or maybe the higher ups infiltrate to destroy it. Well, I think Casey, hopefully you don't get too long-winded, but Casey, where are you, man? Come on, man. What are you doing, man?
I gotta go get my charger, my computer running low. Come on, man. You know.
Oh shoot, you ain't the only one. I should charge this.
What was it? Repeat the question a little bit.
It's not even a question. The comment was that it could be infiltrated. So if you want to talk about how, you know, they infiltrate not only just communities but countries, really briefly.
Oh yeah. I see why you asked me not to get long-winded. Definitely, and if you watch it, the history of from all the way back from J. Edgar Hoover infiltrating Marcus Garvey's, you know, Back to Africa movement. Yeah, you know, like almost like the left hand, right hand men were actual FBI informants. You've had a long history, and this is going on through COINTELPRO of whenever you had a movement like the Black Panthers, like even Martin Luther King's civil rights movement, you get FBI informants. And people who try and subvert the movements, people who try and start beef in the movements, people who will, you know, agent provocateurs. And we talked about it last time when with the whole Jessica Krug situation, and she was able to infiltrate looking like a straight white woman. And they're actual black sellouts and everything who will infiltrate too. So it's not about how they look, because a lot of times they'll catch someone up in a crime and they'll be like, yo, you want to get out of it? Go join them Panthers real quick. Find out, tell me what them saying. And next thing you know, they're not always just looking for information. They're trying to start beef. So they'll tell one leader, yo, he said this about you. They'll tell the other leader, he said this about you. Next thing you know, there's a beef within your movement. You know what I'm saying? So be very careful. infiltrators.
Yes, we can't fight that.
And it's still going on today. Maybe have a new name.
Right. And you know, she said something interesting too. She also spoke about trolls and about trolls on the internet being their worst problem right now. And there's trolls that infiltrate movements. You know what I mean? There's trolls that infiltrate, you know, people growing networks. You know what I mean? And trolls are able to like, you know, infiltrate people's situations and get them to like break down this own support system. You know what I mean? So trolls could, you know, those people that break down your shit could come in the form of trolls as well. But with that being said, I'm gonna say that in regards to being infiltrated, because I started an organization when I was in college. You know, I've been part of starting a lot of organizations, but the one that I'm more proud of is the one I started in college that lasted pretty long and lasted the test of time, and we created a strong network. And I remember when I started this organization, there were people that I felt were sent to us to try to infiltrate us as well. You know what I mean? Like I had actual people who were there to mentor us, who actually came from the era of when people were fighting back. You know, salute to my mentor from, you know, the Republic of New Africa who passed away, Sheikh Muhammad. You know what I'm saying?
Are you serious? And how Sheikh dying and you don't let me know, bro?
My fault, but
you probably posted on your page and just ain't come on my feed.
But at the same time,
that's crazy. I didn't know that was my man. I was bumping him at the Black Writers Conference, and
right?
The other, you know, pro-black. That's a good dude, man. R.I.P.
I'll do a story on him one day. But the case, what I'm saying is, even just the same way we had people coming to mentor us that was from the cloth, we had people that were coming to us that were obviously trying to actually destroy what we were building. You know what I mean? And because we were spreading from college to college, you know what I'm saying? And we had a strong network. And one thing I did to combat that was it took real strong leadership. So in their case, they have real good intentions, but I really hope that they have real strong, you know, wise leadership that could kind of combat when, because it's not if, you know what I mean? It's not maybe. That shit is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? They're going to send somebody in that motherfucker to at very least, you know, get the information of what they're doing at very least. So it's not if, it's not maybe, it's when. So hopefully they have the right leadership to be able to, when somebody comes to them and say, yo, you know, because a lot of organizations went down by, you know, buying illegal weapons instead of legal weapons, or, you know, or you know, getting too greedy and, you know, letting their people indulge in selling drugs or different shit like that. So hopefully they have enough leadership to be able to, if somebody comes to them with some fuck shit, whether they're infiltrating or not, to, you know, to exclude them, you know what I mean? To push them out and to indemnify themselves from them and say, look, what they're doing has nothing to do with us, and be able to also, you know, embrace people when they're not fucking up. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, hopefully they have strong and wise leadership that can still keep them on track when this happens, because it will fucking happen. It will happen. London Taylor says, Wagwan team, blessings to you, London Taylor, from across the pond. Salute to you. And Brooklyn Hunter says, where would you rather live, Wakanda or Zamunda? Now we get into the jokes. All right. I'm gonna say Zamunda.
Yo, they was beefing in Wakanda. They was trying to take Wakanda out. It got crazy for Zamunda. Just nice. All they just got the elephants, the ladies. But I don't know. They be having wild jokes about, you know how you have certain African countries where the dictators is living good? They had one thing in the joke where there was like a revolution going on in Zamunda and they was trying to take out Jaffe Joffer. It was a crazy skit. Look it up on YouTube.
Right.
The only thing is also you can't really base your land on a fantasy world. You know what I'm saying? Like Wakanda is great, but even the whole thing, it's a fantasy written by white people, right?
Right.
About what their idea of ideal black society and ideal black hero. But
keyword written by white people.
Wakanda aren't even creations of black people. That's white people's fantasy. So I feel we should really ground it in reality. You know what I mean? And there are great places like Black Wall Street, which you could base it on. You know what I'm saying? Rather than a fantasy. You know what I mean?
Right. And like I said, like I was trying to say, but I probably got cut out because we can't talk at the same time, which is you said the Jew keyword written by white people. So I know we love Wakanda, you know what I mean, and rest in peace to, you know, Chadwick, but you know, we gotta keep in mind that we did not write Black Panther.
You know,
I mean, we did not. it had a black director. We did not write it. We did not distribute it. We weren't the produce. They were still produced by corporate America.
And, they had a CIA agent in that movie who was a good guy, which is the most fucked up thing when you think about Africa. Because in Africa, the CIA agents are the worst people causing the genocide, the child soldiers, the rapes, the exploitation of the diamonds. So that whole movie was. There's another really good Black Panther cartoon by Reginald Hudlin called Marvel Knights that kind of really exposes the colonialism going on and what the CIA does. It's a totally different thing, and it's way better than the movie in terms of storyline. And I highly recommend people watch that Black Panther rather than the movie to get a real perspective of Africa and Zamunda.
All right. So I think the answer for us was Zamunda, but Mocha, you didn't answer. You didn't answer neither.
I don't know. Wakanda had that. They had something that they was trying to protect, right? I think it was right. I think so because that sounded like it was wealth in that.
So you would rather live in Wakanda?
Probably.
Okay, Vanessa.
I would rather live in Wakanda because it looks like the future of where Black people will exist on this universe. Yeah. Okay.
It was futuristic. So Franchise Catering says that's Nigga Town from Key and Peele. Pay attention. And I don't know if y'all remember, it was a Nigga Town skit from Key and Peele.
I remember that.
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was Nigga Town or Black People Town. I think you putting sauce on it. I don't think it was Nigga Town. I'm pretty sure it was Black People Town or something like that. I don't know. Casey, you remember that skit?
I don't. I remember most Key and Peele skits, but I don't remember that one.
All right. Khalida Bolin says Wakanda forever. Brooklyn Honcho. Lorville says I'm with separation. And J Cap says there's no real data that proves how many times a black dollar circulates in a particular community. And he also says, sounds good. I hope it works though. Chris Jones says, I would like to go to that community and build a foundation for our culture and only invite positive people that want to do right and to help build our culture and our community strong. And not come with, like my boy Logic says, the fuck shits. No doubt. I think, you can go. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure they need all hands on deck. So, it's nothing to go down to Georgia, and you just gotta hope they put Freedom on Google Maps, because that's the name of the town now. Freedom. I think they call it Freedom, Georgia now. Laura Vanelli says the NFAC is trying to get in touch with her to do security on the land. Laugh out loud. Shit, there you go. If that happens, then allegedly they're already infiltrated. Allegedly. Chris Crook says, top of the morning, Chris. You know what I mean? Good to see you here. You know what I mean? Salute to Chris Crook. He put out a new video just today. And yesterday was a dope video. Lord Velna League says, if I get that amount of land, I'm not going on camera. That's just me. So that's another thing I wanted to speak about too. I wanted to say that maybe I wanted to see, like Vanessa, you spoke about in the past, black people not speaking so loud about what they're doing. Did you not feel that they were jeopardizing themselves by speaking about what they were doing?
I mean, they didn't have to. They could have just built. I mean, I feel like for what they're doing, they need to speak out to let other people know to come, because it's like it's going to be a business. If you're opening a town like that, it's a business. But yes, when you are speaking out, you are setting yourself up for situations to happen to you. Now, for me, if I was doing something like this, I probably wouldn't have spoken on it. I probably would have just put the shit together, and then when something would have, came about, then I would have definitely had people come down. I think that they are speaking too soon. I think that sometimes black people are so eager to have things sometimes where they get up and, like, as soon as they put something together, they're just ready to go tell the world about it, and the shit ain't even finished yet. Like, y'all just have land right now. That's all y'all got. At least get the town officially renamed. At least, have the businesses in place. Have all of, because now the fact that you guys are building these things, of course, white people are going to find their way to intrude now.
If you don't say,
because there's a way.
If you say the community can't have white people, they'll get mad. If you just move there and do that and say anyone could come, they won't want to come. If you say anyone could come and you just come there, they won't want to come. If you say only black people can come, they're like, oh, why can't we come? Just go do it. Don't even say no white people. Just do
right.
it.
No, exactly. And nobody should say no white people should come, because even though there's a Chinatown and then there's, Little Italy and all these other places, they don't say that black people can't come to these places, but there's an understanding that it's not our place. I've gone to Chinatown and bought green tea and brought teapots and stuff like that. And I've gone to Little Italy and other places all over New York City. And
that's the thing. Little Italy and Chinatown is both gentrified. There's mad white people living, and that's what I was saying for saying you can't really own that land, but you can still own the community. What I think would be the ideal move is, rather than staying in Georgia, is they got states like where Kanye is, Wyoming, Montana. These states have
niggas ain't going out there. We're not going out there.
Nobody there.
But that you got to be realistic though. Niggas ain't going to Wyoming. Like Kanye's trying to start something in Wyoming. Nobody's going over there.
Hold up.
Georgia is realistic. You got Atlanta there. You got a lot of people who travel up and down the coast.
One mic. Go ahead.
Let me tell you why. Let me finish. You can also get political power. There's nobody who lives in Mont, but they get 2 senators. We build communities in those states with technology. Then we can elect our own senators, right? Have our own political power as well as economic power. So that's why I'm saying that. Take advantage of America's thing, because right now it's nothing but white farmers in those states. So they have a lot of political power.
I think that I agree with you. I think we should take advantage.
In Brooklyn, I think that 2 big senators.
No, I think we should take advantage. I'm not saying you're wrong. I think that we should take advantage of those states and those rural areas because of the political power and the amount that we can get for our dollar in those places. Absolutely. But I don't think that we should negate the places that we actually frequent, the places we actually come from. Like a lot of black people are in Georgia. A lot of black people are in New York. These are the places we already are. Why shouldn't we have a piece of these places as well? So I think it's good. I think it's a great location, and I'm glad that they're doing it. But I think that they're speaking way too soon, because all y'all got is land, and y'all out here doing interviews and talking.
I really agree with that, Vanessa.
Yeah, I agree that it's too soon too. I didn't see any like houses. I just saw tents. So I definitely will see some houses too. But still, salute to them, and hopefully, like if they put out some type of campaign, crowdsourcing thing, that maybe they can actually get a nice chunk of money from putting it out there. Like hopefully it could work in their favor that they did put press to it. You know what I mean? Because the closed mouth doesn't get fed. You know what I mean? So we're going to follow this story. This is one of the stories we're going to have to follow. And we're definitely going to support them in any way we can.
Nigga town.
London Taylor says, it's always happened even in Zulu history. People have manipulated and infiltrated their movements. And Smile says, laugh out loud about the NFAC trying to buy the Mountains, Louisville in the league. And Rich Ravioli says, all that trolling is toxic. Beware of toxicity. Yeah, trolling is toxic. You know what I mean? And it's a slippery slope. It can go from leaving funny comments to now, next thing you know, you're like trolling the people by, contacting people and, you know what I mean, trying to infiltrate their actual, situation. So trolling could definitely be a slippery slope and be definitely toxic. So Louisville says, laugh out loud, smiles. And then he also says, hello, Miss Ravioli. Redemption's pick is Zamunda. I'm going to Zamunda with Redemption. Me, Casey, and Redemption. Y'all be in Wakanda fighting for fucking
the Marvel CIA agents.
Fighting for the fucking what's that shit called? But it's either way. Once it's in Africa, there's resources that you got to fight for anyway. But yeah, Ms. Ravioli says, Lucifer, my ex, is a master of destruction. Whatsoever you build, Lucifer is sure to destroy. Beware of Lucifer offsprings. I don't know if Lucifer, however you want to put it, can definitely destroy what you have, but Lucifer is, if that's what the term we're going with, is definitely going to attempt to destroy it. Which is why I said, hopefully they have strong leadership. You know what I mean? Hopefully their leadership is strong, and not just strong, but wise. Because you could be strong and fuck up. You know what I mean? So not just strong, but wise enough to be able to manage all of those personalities and those people in a sense where, if you're doing right, come on and do the right. But if you're doing wrong, we're going to excommunicate you from this situation and get you the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? Because somebody can not just be, they don't have to be a hired agent. They could just be an agent of confusion. an agent of destruction, an agent of everything that's go against your mission statement, and not even be hired to do so. That could just be in their nature. So if somebody does something against the mission statement, you gotta go. You gotta go. Lord Vanessa says Wakanda let 2 white men in. I'm going with the lady with the 90 acres. All right, that's what's up.
There wasn't one white person in Zamunda for the whole movie, right? Even though
I don't think
not even a light skin. They would have been like,
no, they had light skinned people in Zamunda. Now you wilding. You put it on.
Nah, one of the bathers might have been a little light skinned, but when they brought homegirl back home, she was the only light skin in the movie. When his wife, she was definitely the lightest. I look at her like, who's you?
I don't know. Miss Ravioli says Ja is low key saying, "Nigga, allow me to speak." Well, I don't want to cut off anybody's wisdom or jewels, but at the same time, as a moderator, there's a balance. You know what I'm saying? It's a balance. So that's the homie. He knows himself. He can get long winded. You know what I mean? So,
get out of here.
Let me see. Brooklyn Honcho says, at Casey, you could talk about now and later package for hold on. I think he's saying you can't talk about a now and later package for the one you can't. But for real, I like your knowledge. So I'm gonna just go with the last part. He said, but for real, he like your knowledge. So it's something he said you can't talk about or something like that. But he said, but for real, he likes your knowledge. That's cool, man. Me and Casey don't always agree with everything, but I always tell Casey he's a walking encyclopedia. Like, you know what I mean? This dude will win any game show. I promise you. And Keenan Khan says the white man wrote it, but he didn't just make it up out of thin air. Pay attention. I mean, exactly. Yeah, of course, there were things that were based on reality.
Shout out to Stan Lee. It wasn't Stan Lee. It was Jack Kirby who wrote it. You know what I mean? The other dude. They had good intentions. Like the X-Men was based on Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. I'm not saying, but it's not our intellectual property. You know what I mean? They can do it. They can make the Black Panther a sellout. They could do whatever with him. You know what I mean? And we don't have control over that. So we don't have control over Wakanda. I really can't wait to come into America too, where we can see more of Zamunda. And shout out for Eddie Murphy being a creative genius and writing that and owning that. He will always own Zamunda. And I love Eddie. He's a comedic genius. I can't wait to see his new stand-up. And we will not own Wakanda. So y'all can go to Wakanda. I'm rolling with Eddie.
All right. Ms. Ravioli says, also, I have not seen Black Panther. My Black Card account frozen right now. Nah, you good. You good. You I'm sure you can watch it online, though. It's a good movie, though. It's a good movie. Mills Lane says, Wakanda got some strong women. And then
that's why I want to read it.
Okay? Yeah. And Redemption says, agreed, Vanessa, to something to the points you said earlier. I think I threw it on the screen when you was saying what you agreed with, and also I put this on the screen when this was relevant. He said that's just pretty negative.
I was it for a hot second, but I was like, I'm with it. I'm with whatever she's saying. Nah, but it was true.
And then Redemption Song says, Black folks aren't the greatest homesteaders. And maybe that's because of experience, if that's true. I can't generalize, but if I was to give validity to that statement, I would say it's because we don't have maybe the experience needed. And that experience comes when you got to just do it. So we can't, whatever we're not great at, we can't say because we're not great at, we can't try. It's going to come from trial and error, right? Mm-hmm. So, salute to them. Hopefully whatever they don't know, hopefully they figure it out. And hopefully people with the skill sets do pull up and help out. You know what I'm saying? Lord Valley says other races can come do business, but they can't live there. That's how I would run my land. Well, Lord Vell, I hope you and a lot of us all get land. You know what I mean? Enough land to raise multiple families on, because that is definitely one of the answers to what we said earlier. What's the answer when Dolphy Productions asked a question about, what's the answer to, keeping our children out of trouble? Maybe something like this is the answer, having our own and creating our own culture within that our own. Franchise Cater says, Mocha, what you eating? Did you chew it on camera?
Yeah, Mocha, what are you eating? Because I'm curious now. Put your healthy ass in the morning. Yes, inspire me. Yes.
And Redemption Song says, why are you all up in her mouth, Steph? And
why you all in my grill?
Hey, Steph.
And Lord Vanelli says Mocha eating goji berries. And, yeah, thank you, Redemption. It's called Negro Town. If looking at exactly, it's Negro.
Negro Town.
Yeah, not Nigga Town. Y'all being wild disrespectful right now. Calling.
I mean, Nigga Town sounds.
No, it sounds crazy.
Oh my God.
I like Nigga Town. I would rather go visit Nigga Town than Negro Town.
You on your own with that one. I'm not going.
Nigga Town sounds fun, and that's what it would be. Like this shit that they building down there.
Nigga Town sounds like you're going to get shot. So you're on your own with that.
Yeah, you might get shot at Nigga Town. That's absolutely true.
Franchise Catering says because she stuffed her face and could barely chew. Hemp Lord said there are established black towns all over South Carolina. Salute. There we go.
Gullah Islands.
No, they got that and Hilton Head now. They taking over.
Redemption Song says Steph, I was just messing. And Muhammad Shakur says Wakanda is played out. And Shaharia says Grand Rising. Salute to Shaharia. You had a great show last night. We had some technical difficulties, but y'all got through it like champs. And it got spicy towards the end. I want to say like the last half of Silence Kill got definitely spicy. So
Logic, I know I keep cutting you off, but I know if I don't say it now, I'm gonna forget about it. But I really like this Grand Rising y'all have. And right now, the group I manage, Mankind, my homie Nate from the group, we have something called the Grand Rising Challenge for all y'all rappers out there. Any rappers out of there, get the instrumental. Just use the hashtag Grand Rising Challenge on Instagram, and you'll see some amazing rappers over a real dope beat, including myself, including my man Nate from Mankind, who did the original, my man Halo, my man King F Sorrow. So Grand Rising, I love that y'all are doing it, and I would love maybe if we could even use that as a theme song for y'all in the morning. You know,
we'll figure it out if y'all make if y'all make an actual song about it. Then
we already made the song, and we have a challenge where we're all rapping about it. And I'm saying,
all right, so send me the link, and I'll play it.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah, send me the link.
I'm gonna send you the Instagram link.
All right, send me the link. Miss Ravioli says, right on, Sister V. Sometimes you got to keep your treasures on hush in order to protect your future plans / goals. Black Power ×4. Yeah, I agree with you.
Salute, Miss Ravioli. You're absolutely right.
You definitely have to keep it on the low. Because people not only going to try to infiltrate it and fuck it up, and then they're going to try to be the first, and then but even though being the first don't mean shit, but still they're going to try to do it. But no one could be you at the same time.
But I think the issue comes when something's not finished, and you are out there about it, then there's room for it to never be done, for it to never get finished. But if you already complete something, you already go through with something, then people will just have to either love it or hate it because it would just already be there. That's a fact. And they can poke holes in it. You know what I mean? If one of my homies once said, and he was talking in business terms. So he said, once the audience see you naked, they'll never see you clothed again. So it's like, you know what I mean? It's like facts. If I know that personally. I didn't even think of that, but yeah. Some people who know me from different like from podcasting and stuff like that, they see me one way, and then there's some people who know me before podcasting with the adult stuff that I've done, and they try to watch me as far as like doing podcasting and stuff, and it's just like they can't unsee the other stuff. So yeah. But just because I feel. But I'll say this in regards to that. Just because you've done that don't mean you can't do this. So hopefully, they'll still be able to enjoy this, right? So Muhammad Shakur says, I'm all for us getting land and establish our own town, but we have to be smart. And no, Zamunda had no whites. And Mills Lane says some of the dancers in the large dance teams were light skinned, and she's your queen to be. I remember.
All right, good call. Yeah, queen. I have to revisit that.
Brooklyn Honcho says he can talk about now and later candy wrapper for an hour straight. Oh, that's what he meant. He said you can talk about a candy wrapper for an hour straight, but you love your knowledge. So yeah, Casey also writes articles. So I think that's your moment to get long-winded. But and I think this show will help sharpen your sword in the sense of being able to give a synopsis to what you mean, right? Because we kind of have to.
I heard that comment before. Right. My man, shout out to my man Ed Opperman. He's a white dude I do a lot of interviews with, and someone was giving me mad compliments on his show, and he was like, "Yeah, when I interviewed him, he was so long-winded. I was the first person to interview him. Now he's better." So I'm trying to take in the criticism I've seen online before.
Definitely take that criticism, and you have to also keep in mind that you want to speak more sound bites than just long sentences.
Right. Yeah. I've heard that criticism before, but I've also heard I'm getting better, so I can imagine how bad I was before.
All right, so my Mexico says, historically speaking, the reason why our towns were destroyed because we genuinely thought whites would leave us alone, but sadly, some of us just had to sniff around them. I don't think we should be blaming us for why they destroy our towns, because if they was going to come destroy it, they were going to destroy it anyway. You know what I mean? Whether we were sniffing around them, as you say, or not, if they aimed to destroy that town and we didn't have more military than them, and or whatever the case may be, they're going to destroy it anyway. So I would be less on the saying, you know, because of what we did. You know what I'm saying? Even though you got to take responsibility, you know what I mean, and learn from history. But I feel like the towns that got destroyed historically, it was no way out of that. You know what I mean? They came for it, and they came to do what they came to do. You know what I mean? Chris Jones says, well, I think if from start to ground up, you always have to start from the bottom to get somewhere. He said, I think it's from start to ground up. You always have to start from the bottom to get somewhere. To get anywhere in life, if we buy land, no one can tell you what you can put up on your land when you already own your land. That's a fact. Keenan says, I'm starting to feel like at J Doug, you niggas always complaining about something. And,
but no, J Doug always wanted black people to do things. So I understood his point of view sometimes, because black people do always complain about stuff, but nobody does anything. So this is a perfect example of someone taking action.
Logic, could you pull up that last comment? Yeah, I want to. What's the premise? How is it going to be trash? I'm really optimistic. I thought Eddie Murphy was amazing in the Dolomite movie. I think he's done a little stand-up. I feel he got his swagger back. I feel Michael Blackson being it is going to be really amazing. That would be whatever role they have for him will be a career-defining role. I know it's hard to live up to the original, but I'm very optimistic about Coming to America.
I forget the premise, but if I'm going off of hearsay and what I remember, I think it was something about Eddie being a bad guy or something like that.
Yeah, I thought he went back. He went back.
He has a daughter. I think he has a daughter. Who I wonder if Michael Blackson is going to be the son in the relationship. I would love that. I love Michael Blackson.
We'll see, but we're getting over the time of this. But my Mexico says coming to America too, and my Mexico says Miss Smilez is making sense today. Right on. Chris Jones says Negro Town needs to be changed to a better name.
Yes, Nigga Town.
Franchise Caterer says, it's only black people that blame victims, or is it everybody? Serious question. You know what? We're going to have to look into that. You know what I mean? We're going to have to look into that. And Muhammad says, I disagree. It's about accountability. Yeah, they're going to do what they're going to do, but it's on us to protect what we work hard for. Yeah, that's a fact. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, in those towns where they traditionally, got rid of those black towns, we didn't have more military than the fucking U.S. government. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. So, yeah. So Keenan Khan says Vanessa is a flip flopper. She has no true opinion on shit. Laugh out loud. And
no, I have to come for his neck. Keenan Khan. I do have a true and a realistic opinion when it comes to things. You have to be honest about what situations are and deal with them as is. Sometimes people love to be right so hard that they end up being wrong at the same time. That is not me. I base my opinions off of my experience, what I've seen, what I enjoy, and I go by just that. Sometimes people agree, sometimes they don't. But to be a flip-flopper, that means you're constantly changing how you think. And if how you think is based on the reality, then that's constantly going to be changing.
Yeah, and I think it's realistic to see that, to prepare yourself that when you hear people speak, especially as often as we're speaking to you, you're going to hear us contradict ourselves at times too, because we're human. We have a broad train of thoughts. There's a broad spectrum of opinions. You know what I mean? So, and everything is situational in reality. You know what I'm saying? So, there'll be times where you're like, well, I thought you just said you know, a few days ago and all that. But you know, salute to you for your opinion. And
But
Chris,
I have to say, I stand on Nigga Town. I do.
and Chris Jones says not Nigga Town either.
No, I stand on Nigga Town.
Franchise Caterer says bringing up Michael Blackson ain't helping your point, bro. And in case he's not here to hear that, but I'm not going to keep reading that. Redemption says Dolomite was great, but I have to wait to see the approach with this one. I agree. Dolomite
was
fire. Sweet D says good morning, everybody. Good morning, Sweet D. And Franchise Catering says Michael Blackson equals same jokes. He is very corny nowadays. I'm not going to. Michael Blackson on Instagram with them skits with his son, the Diesel nigga. That shit is.
I think he's funny. Look at my shoes.
No. That's old shit. First of all, so you're not.
It is. He doesn't have new jokes.
His jokes are horrible nowadays. His Instagram skits on. He needs a writer. You know what I mean? Lorville.
He has the talent. I like his Instagram skits. I think there might be a little. And the thing is, my man Ruddy said something like Instagram comedy is a modern day minstrel show, and I feel him in some ways, right? Because when you got to do the minute clips, you can't really have no intelligent commentary, right? So I feel he's getting a little repetitive, but you could scroll over him. It's not like he's been funny on Friday. He's been funny for mad long. His persona is good. When you look at people representing a good satire and parody of the African immigrant experience, no one doing it like him. The role in Coming to America is his defining role. He has the talent. I do agree. Some of the skits, some of them's funny. With a big dude and the cheating stuff, it's one-dimensional. Sometimes, but I do believe he also could, in a bigger role, be funnier, and the stupid stuff you might think, or the repetitive stuff, it works for him. That's why he keeps doing it. You know what I'm saying? But in a different setting, I think he could be really funny.
Lorville says,
I'll visit it when the movie comes out, and if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. And the movie's corny and Michael Blackson's whack, I'll be like, damn.
Let's talk about it then. In case anybody's confused, because we keep talking about Michael Blackson and Eddie Murphy. We only got on this subject because someone asked, what would you choose, Wakanda or Zamunda? And we got on that subject because we spoke of a town in Georgia that is named Freedom, that is a Black-owned town. So we're definitely going down the rabbit hole a little bit too far right now. But there's a town in Georgia, Black-owned, for Black people, called Freedom. Lorville in the League says Leslie Jones is Eddie Murphy's baby mama in the new Coming to America. What the fuck is his character? Would never.
I think that's a lie. Don't believe everything you read on the internet.
Keenan says, I accept that at this time. I'll accept that this time, speaking to Vanessa. And Lorville in the League says 18 watching, get the likes up. Redemption is agreeing with Steph. She's laughing at Lorville. And Muhammad Shakur says, we didn't have militia at all. Again, Black people then, many of us genuinely thought whites were going to leave us alone, even now. Point is, we have to prepare ourselves and protect ourselves at any means. And I agree with you on protecting ourselves. I just didn't agree with accusing them of sniffing around white folks or whatever that was. So I didn't want to blame them for, you know what I mean? But anyway, Franchise Catering says, I paid to see him. It's the same jokes from 05, respectfully. And I'm gonna have to agree with that. So finally we can move on to the next subject. Salute to Freedom Town. Salute to Freedom in Georgia. We will be following you. We will be following that, and hopefully, after this pandemic shit is over, maybe some of us can go visit, and maybe we'll see some more media. I would love to visit. Chris says I like Michael Blackson IG lives when it's ass and titties day. Yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. Anyway. So speaking of towns and somebody mentioned Kanye earlier, we're gonna get to some celebrity stuff. This comes to us from Vlad TV. Kanye West seen walking on water at latest Sunday service. So I'm going to read what the article has to say, and then we're going to watch the video of the actual miracle. Kanye West has been in the news recently for his presidential campaign and all the issues that he's been facing while running. Now, West and his Sunday service crew have been reportedly seen walking on water during their latest event in Atlanta. The event was attended by Pastor Joel Osteen as well, who talked about the belief of how Jesus was able to walk on water while he stood in the lake where the event was held. Later in the video, West and the entire Sunday service choir could be seen performing while West and his children watched. So here's the video of the quote unquote miracle itself, and we're gonna go ahead and play it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and like talk over it because I feel like some of this music might be from his album or some shit. I don't want to definitely get any strikes from a Kanye soundtrack.
Yeah. But I just think that they have really good graphics. I've seen this image and I've seen this floating around on IG and stuff like that. And I said, wow, Kanye is getting very creative. But when it came to his political stance, it just seemed like he just found a room to stand in and talk to people. Like, how could you be so creative at Sunday service, but when it comes to your presidential campaign, you give us a lackluster nothing?
Because he was playing the whole time. It wasn't real. It wasn't real. But this is his. I'm gonna just call it what it is. This is his cult.
Yeah. No, it's not a cult. Don't do that to him.
That's not a cult.
No, if that's a cult, then all religions are cults.
No,
exactly. All religions start as cults. Once you get a lot of people,
then it's not a cult no more.
I had 10 people. If I came to you and say, yo, I'm the son of God, I could walk on water, I could do that, you say I'm crazy. But people believe Jesus did that. Someone believed it at some point. And I think VeeSmilez had a conversation about people who are drawn to religion. A lot of them might have mental health issues in the first place. Religion kind of feels that.
Well, don't do that because I can't say that people
don't drag my name into that.
No, yeah, I can agree with that because people use religion for a lot of different purposes. There's a lot of people who use religions as structure in their lives. They use their religions as navigations for how to live their lives. So people have many different purposes when it comes to religions. But here, Kanye
is living
his best life. And I don't think it's a cult. He has found a way of life that he wants to live and he wants people to join him. So I just hope that they're all ready to get their tin suits,
Vanessa,
their spray paint, and get their shit together.
Vanessa, it's a cult. It's a cult.
I agree with Vanessa because he's still a church. He's still a Christian. It becomes a cult when he says something different, like I'm the son of God, and it becomes out of Christianity. He's still within the Christian church. And I do have like a cousin who's in one of them, a little excessive religious groups, but they're not outside of Christianity. They're just a little crazy and they stick together in a group like that. So there's a difference between a cult and a commune. You know
Is it a cult? Wait, let's get the definition of cult. The definition of cult is what?
All right, so
I'm doing my Googles.
She's going to do her Googles. But
okay.
As you pull that up, I want Mocha to speak on it because we all said a lot.
I just feel like this is fake. It looks like a table that's right there. It looks like a table that's right there. It's all going in one way. You can see it. I think it's fake.
Of course it's fake, but it's definitely posted.
Wait, did y'all see the video where one of them fell?
Yeah, see?
There's a video because that's what I ended up seeing. I seen the video where he was walking and then one of them fell. And I said, that's fucking hilarious. But I have to sorry.
Go ahead, read the definition of
cult from the Oxford language dictionary, a system of religious veneration and devotion directed toward a particular figure or object. So he hasn't really yet actually explained what he's devoting him or his follower. Kanye has yet to come out and say not that I'm aware of, that it's a Christian church or that they're, he did his whole Jesus Walks thing, but that was in his music career. But as far as his church is concerned, he hasn't necessarily devoted his, people to one particular thing or anything. Listen, they just out there saying.
This comment to me explains what I'm saying. And check this out, right? And we're going to go to the comments in full. Right. Louisville in the league says his name is Jesus. Come on, people. You know what I mean? Like, it's a cult. This nigga is trying to embody Jesus. You know what I mean? Come on, it's a fucking cult. That's a cult. Look at this. And why would the fuck would you reenact walking on water if it wasn't no cult? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fucking cult.
Joel Osteen has a cult. Did you see the size of his church? That's a fucking cult.
Well, he was there, so obviously anyway. So let me go to some of these comments, right? So Steph says franchise catering, which is Stefan by and Stefan, I know you're at a training right now, so you're violating your training right now. He's like at a training. watching this fucking show. But anyway, he says they really finna play in Jesus' face, huh? You know what I mean? So shit's disrespectful.
They're mocking, and I don't really like to speak on religion too much, but they're mocking Christianity, and he's going far.
You don't think that they're paying homage in any way? Like
how?
This reminds me of those African preachers who bring in a white Jesus to their church.
Come on.
And they're like, oh shit, and they know it's a hustle. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if Kanye's really religious or he knows religion's a hustle. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely a hustle for him.
Yeah, I think religion, that's just pure mockery, and in that sense, that's messed up.
He could be delusional too, and just put that in delusional. And then what about the two people who walk in front of them? Are they Jesus too? They got a whole bunch. Who are they? They got like 2 other Jesuses. I didn't know we have 4 Jesuses. His daughter Jesus too. Jesus.
Followers.
And that's my issue with Christianity. And no, it's like all the superpowers you can have. All Jesus could do is walk on water and turn water into wine. Like he can't be like Magneto or Storm. Like you're the son of God. Like Hercules supposed to be the son of God. Hercules was strong. Jesus. Moses wasn't even the son of God, and Moses was parting rivers and doing wild stuff. No disrespect to any of my Christians. I'm just questioning.
Nah, Jesus had more powers than that.
What did he do? He wasn't like Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker was wild out on Jesus.
All right, so this nigga's crazy. Nah, he
heal people.
Exactly, heal people, and that's it.
What did he do in the fight?
He was healing it. I didn't hear anything about him walking on any water, but the splitting of the water.
No, that's Moses.
Yeah, that's from another special.
But that's more impressive than walking on water. What you gonna do? You gonna run away like Jesus, like Aquaman or something? Like that's not impressive. Like, whoa, I'm out.
As I think about it, I'm not sure if it was Jesus that walked on water. I think it was the fishermen, right? He made the fishermen be able to walk on water, I believe, or something like that, right?
No, I think Jesus walked on water.
Jesus was able to do none of that without God anyway. So if we're going to go into that, but a lot of the prophets and the messages, some of them did have special talent. You know what I'm saying? Some of them did have special talent. Jesus did have his own special talent. He had his own language. You know, he had his own special talent.
Okay.
X-Men.
Miss Ravioli says in Freedom Town, different town than the one Boozy is or was purchasing. Or is Freedom Town a different town than the one Boozy is or was purchasing? I'm pretty sure it's not the same town. They didn't talk about nobody popping their pussy for $1,000.
Going to his.
So put the slips out. I give you $1,000. Come on.
I'm pretty sure it's a different town than the one Boozy was dealing with. Redemption says agreed, Ja. London Taylor's laughing. Michael says, good morning, beautiful people. Kanye 2020. At this point, we gotta just realize that shit is a joke. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I respect your opinion. You want to vote?
We thought that about Trump too.
Nah, that shit is a joke. This is a fucking joke.
We all thought that Trump running was a joke.
Yeah, but Trump actually ran. This motherfucker's joking. Like you said, his political campaign was a joke. Everything he did was a fucking joke. Like his rally was a fucking joke. It was an album signing with no albums. It was a fucking joke. It was a joke. It's a joke. The birthday party is a joke. It's a joke. Franchise Catering says the difference between a cult and a religion is perspective. Literally, I took a college course on this very subject, and I agree with that. And my perspective on Kanye's church is that is a fucking cult. You know what I mean? That's my perspective.
When Rastafarianism first started in Jamaica, they was calling it a serious, crazy cult. Now it's a worldwide religion, and it's accepted because it's kind of grown. So the difference between a cult and a religion is how many followers you got. You know what I mean? It's like that blue check on Instagram.
Right. So Lord Velnally says it's a cult. Vanessa, stop it. And Lord, I read this already. He says his name is Jesus. You know what I mean? Which is obviously some old like worship me type shit. And you got to remember this dude. He can't be a real right, even though you're not supposed to judge. But this dude doesn't embody Christianity. Like, let's be real. This dude is real prideful. He wants people to idolize him. He idolizes others. You know what I mean? And then he wants to be them and make you idolize. This dude is. And then he's gonna be your pastor. That's some crazy shit. That's not gonna work. London Taylor says, didn't the mafia have some type of cult, some cult type of thing instead of a Catholic church?
The Mexican mafia, they worship these saints. They have like saints of criminals. So it's almost like voodoo, where it's a combination of like their own natural religion, and also some parts of Catholicism, and also gangsterism. So yeah, gangsters justify. If you a Catholic, that's a great place to be a gangster. You could kill 50 people and repent your sins, but like, oh, I'm good. I have no conscience.
Redemption Zone 76 says, damn, it's a damn cult. These folks are enablers. And Redemption also says cult, and she also put the definition, which we read, and I threw on the screen while you read it. Miss Ravioli says, all religions are on the cult spectrum. This is a reality. Per the definition, it is a cult, respectfully. Chris Jones says they all are walking on water, not in water, on water like Jesus. Wow. And shoot the club up, Scott, excuse me, says, y'all gonna worship Christ of Jesus, or we coming for you? It's possible. I don't know if they gangster with they shit, you know what I mean? I think if anything, they might make a song about you. Redemption Song says a cult is a misplaced or excessive admiration for a particular person or thing. And Shoot the Club Up also has another comment that I don't need to put on the screen, but I'll just say he's on his page. He asks where's one of the people who all the people who come on this show have their own pages. So if you're looking for anybody who was once on this page, feel free to go to their page. Everyone has their own particular page, so free to go to his page. Sharia says, I agree with you, Lord Vel. He wants to appear like he is Jesus. That's a fact. Keenan says, Steph, salute. Whoa. And Shoot the Club Up said, nah, come on. Chris Jones says, Jesus for 2021. I don't see it happening. I'm just going to say that. Redemption says, they all rocking that homeless couture.
Facts, though.
Yeah, and C-Dot says, good morning. C-Dot from Straight Up in the Morning. Salute to you. She says, good morning. And if you haven't checked it out yet, please check out Straight Up in the Morning, Saturdays and Sundays here on Rant Network. Also on Straight Up in the Morning on Facebook, simulcasting on Facebook. And Shoot the Club Up says, how dare y'all besmirch the child of God, Jesus? And I mean, because we think he's clowning at this point. We think he's mocking. We think he's mocking religion, and we think he's mocking God. We can all have our own, take on religion, Christianity, or any other religion for that point. But at this point, he's mocking that shit. You know what I'm saying? Lord Van Lee says, I'm not religious, but Kanye remix So Anxious in the church, and nobody said nothing. Religion
that was a banger, though. That was a banger.
Even Jesus Walks was popping. That was real churchy.
And that's a banger. I'm not religious at all. And I love Never Could Have Made It by Marvin Sapp. A banger is going to be a banger, regardless of the religious intent behind it. I'm not Rastafarian about it. They got some banging ass Rasta songs, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Franchise Catering says, my man clearly ain't read the Bible. That's a fact. And Shoot the Club Up says, Yeezy walked on water. He is a child of God. And Mills Lane says, if Michael Jackson was alive today, he would be offering kids Yeezus juice.
Don't do that to Michael.
He said, if. Mom's fault.
He's asking the question.
And Shoot the Club says, how dare y'all talk down on the... Okay. And,
I'm just going to say Michael would be owning Kanye's music if he were alive today.
that's a good...
He owes everybody.
That's definitely a good... that would be a good guess, yeah. Chris Jones says, nah, it was Jesus who walked on water. Okay.
And y'all say, I don't read the Bible?
I'm trying to remember. I'm pretty sure maybe it was both. I think it was a story where it was
Moses parted the Red Sea.
We're not talking about the Moses thing. I'm talking about the fisherman that me and Mocha was talking about. There was a story where the fisherman, but you know what I'm confusing that with when I think Jesus said peace be still to the water when they were in the troubled water when they was fishing. I'm not sure, but it's been a while for me since I read the Bible, obviously. So, Shoot the Close says Kanye is for 8 years of president, and Keenan Khan says Christianity isn't the problem. Christianity isn't the problem. It's the people who manipulate the word to their liking, and I think that's probably with any religion. And Mills Lane says nativity scenes, cross carrying during Easter are commonly practiced moments. I practice turning water into wine. Okay.
That's true, though. A lot of people do reenact nativity scenes often.
in the Philippines, they really do the whole cross thing with the nails in. Like they'll really mess up their hands and things. They really do that.
Oh wow!
Wow, this is a bad.
It makes people wild out.
That's hard.
That's crazy.
Redemption says, I need to stop multitasking and typing. I thought it wasn't her. Yeah, it was Steph who you was commenting to. And Redemption says Santeria's, speaking of the religion, and then Shoot the Club Up is going hard for Yeezy in the comments. And Lord Vanessa says, remember Kanye West said he sold his soul to the devil on stage? Never forget. And Franchise says, C-Dot, what's happening? And C-Dot says, good morning to everyone. And she's also laughing at the comments. And Redemption saying agreed. And Franchise saying, get the likes up. So yeah, that's that's what's up for the Kanye situation. Right now we're kind of sticking on not celebrity gossip, but like more celebrity news. We're talking about celebrity news right now, and this is not necessarily news, but it's pretty interesting. So you might be familiar with Stephon Marbury. I don't think he's a active basketball player at this point. I don't think he's actively playing basketball right now. I know he was selling shoes for a while, but apparently he has beef with Jay-Z. And he actually said a couple, I'm not going to say strong words for Jay-Z, but he was interviewed on another podcast. And, we usually don't talk about podcasts, but it's really the soundbite that we want to play for you, where he gave his opinion on Jay-Z and explained the little beef and that they might have had. And this article comes to us from Vlad TV. It says Stephon Marbury says Jay-Z is not an advocate for Black people. So they quote him saying a few things, but we're going to just let you hear it for yourself. He was on a show for heavy.com, I believe it is. And he was interviewed by a man by the name of Brandon Scoop B. Robinson. And he spoke on Jay-Z. And we're going to actually listen to what he had to say.
Heavy with Scoop B here in the building with the one and only, one of my favorite rappers you can't stand, Jay-Z. There was a line in the song La 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 where he said, don't confuse me with Marbury up in this bitch. When I'm on the light, you can lose your life. Where were you the first time that you heard that song?
I was in Atlanta. Inside of a club. And when I heard it, I knew exactly what it was about.
Right.
We was inside of a club, and he was with a chick that I did not know. That was cool. After I found out about her, him, Dame Dash, and I got robbed that night too.
Mm-hmm.
We was in a club, and she went off and we started dancing, and and it wasn't nothing. It was just dancing. It's New York. I'm from New York. She from New York. And we started dancing, and come to find out after, she was like, yo, do you know homeboy was vexed and mad because you and I started dancing? And I was like, for what? I said, that's what we do. She was like, word, homie got real mad because of that. So I guess he went and did whatever he did and made his little song about what it was. But at the same time, I look at Jay-Z and I say, wow, here you are trying to be something that you're not. You're not an advocate for Black people. You sold drugs to Black people, and you rapped about it and talked about it. How do you do that? Like, I'm trying to figure that part out. Like, you can't make that right. This ain't snitching. This ain't telling on nobody. You told on yourself already. Like, you already told people what it is that you do and how you do it and how you feel about what you're doing. So how you rap about something that you did, I'm confused. I don't know. But people ask me, why you always talk about Jay-Z? Why you always say something about LeBron? I'm like, they two are the same. They together. They friends. So if I say something about them, I'm saying something about two people that said something about me and talked about me.
So there you have it. Apparently Stephon Marbury had problems with Jay-Z this whole time. Who knew? Who knew? And I don't want to spend too much time on it. Definitely people were baking him in the comments. Redemption say he was playing with holographic balls. Pay attention. She say he seems slow. And and Shoot the Club Up says those sneakers are still ugly. And and Brooklyn Hunter says, I know Steph, he just wants people in position to help black and come up off of black people to give back. I don't know if he's talking about stuff, Marbury or Jay-Z. And Mills Lane also says, Redemption, you on one today. And Franchise says, on get it.
I just have to say one thing in regards to that. Like, a lot of black people want to, I guess, clown Jay-Z or just people in general if they, used to be in a certain, field. He used to sell drugs or whatever the case may be. And now he's trying to be better in life. All of the cultures that we surround ourselves had different ties at the beginning of their start. The Jews in Brooklyn, they were mobsters. They were, quote unquote gangsters. They had their own gangs and they had a lot of violence in their background. The Italians had a lot of violence in their background. Irish, like a lot of groups all throughout the world had violent upbringings and starts, but they were able to turn it around, create businesses and create opportunities for their youth, as to where now their reputation is not that. I feel like black people have that opportunity too. So what? He used to sell drugs. So what? Back in the days, he sold crack, whatever the case may be. He has now reformed himself to change into something completely different. And I think that just like him, many other people in the neighborhood can do the same thing. And if they actually did, we'd probably be at a better place in society.
Okay, Mocha.
I agree with Vanessa in the sense. Jay-Z came from a really struggling background, you know what I'm saying? And he worked his way up, I like him way better than Kanye.
I like Kanye better.
All right, so I'm gonna let Casey speak now. Casey.
So first off, shout out to Stephon Marbury. I don't know if y'all familiar with what he's done as a career. He might look a little slow there, but he's one of the most amazing basketball players coming out of Coney Island. Had a career-defining NBA career. He actually took his career to China when everybody thought you could only just play in the NBA. He showed another option for black people and black athletes by taking it to China, where he's revered as a hero. People was talking about his ugly sneakers. He made those ugly sneakers cheap so kids in the hood could have them, rather than people like LeBron and Jordan who want to charge $150, $200 when you're marketing them to the kids in the hood and they can't afford them. And as for Jay-Z, there was an incident, right, where someone got robbed. That's a horrible thing to happen to you, right? That's what he's talking about. He's like, I'm not Marbury. If I get robbed, I might kill you. All right, gangster Jay-Z, who have you shot? Who have you killed? You know what I'm saying? And to get back to what you were saying, Malcolm X is a hero to me. Malcolm X sold drugs. Malcolm X was a pimp. He turned his life around and he condemned those things. Jay-Z glorified those things and made a career about it. Talking about, I'm still spending money from 88. I got this car. I was the most bombless drug dealer. The life is glamorous. So if you're a young black man, listen to Jay-Z, you're saying, I want to follow Jay-Z's career trajectory. Maybe if I become a drug dealer from my rap career, maybe I can be a businessman. He's giving them a very false narrative of how to make it in life. Because most drug dealers either die, snitch to the feds, you know what I'm saying, or get locked and stand up. So Jay-Z's made a career of glamorizing. I'm not saying I understand some people's put in situations where they don't have opportunities for them and they might sell drugs. I'm not condemning that, right? But to glorify that, and Jay-Z for some songs like Dead Presidents, Ain't No Love has shown the other side. But if you're going to show the drug game, you better show the negativity, the snitching, the dying, the fact that it's not glamorous. And if you're just showing the balling in the clubs, that is a totally false narrative of the drug game. And when you're presenting yourself as a role model to young black men and now trying to change it around, now Black Lives Matter is popping, you want to attach yourself to that. And I'm a little suspicious.
All right, so it seemed like Vanessa had something to say while you were saying that, so I want you to go ahead and speak before I go to the comments.
No, I was just gonna say, like, you can't say that just because he did that he's not right in where he is now. Just like barbershops, you got, you could be a lot of drug dealers. They could be dead, they could be in jail, or they could own a barbershop, or they could own a store. Everybody's fate is determined by who they are. It doesn't matter what you engage in. You could engage in some negative things, and you could, just like what you spoke about this logic a while back, where two children raised in the same household with a drunken father. One person becomes a drunk, and the other person, becomes successful. So it's really determined by who you are as a person. You can have 5 drug dealers on one corner, and the outcomes of those 5 different drug dealers could be very different.
All right, so but I think his point was more the fact that not that he turned his life around, but that he still glorifies it. You know what I'm saying?
That's not even a factor. Glorifying it isn't really a factor. Don't nobody want to hear about niggas dying on the record. That's not what sells, realistically. People, I was a drug dealer and I got shot and they took my weight. That he wouldn't have even gotten into the game with lyrics like that. You have to show yourselves as the victor in order for people to even want to appeal to you.
And that's a false narrative for young black men.
It works. I'm saying it works
to
for
sell
music.
It doesn't work in breeding successful young black men. It works in breeding black men who think drug dealing is the way to success.
No, there's always going to be records and music and things out there that's not necessarily for the youth. The youth, there's adult content and there's content for the youth. The youth should not be listening to tracks about people rapping about selling drugs and shit like that.
I'm gonna tell you, I had a video on BET Uncut that was on at 3 a.m, and I was a teacher at the time. I was not trying to make music for the youth. I'm having 7-year-old kids come up to me saying, "I seen you on TV." This is 3 a.m. So
whose fault is that?
That's the whole system's fault. It's the entertainment business. Might be the parents. It might even be my fault for putting out that content and not thinking it will reach the youth. Me thinking that this is my whole audience, not realizing we're in a global world. You know what I'm saying? And that I might just think it's for old people who like jokes, and Jay-Z might think he's just making music for people in the streets who are currently dealing drugs, but there are young black men who do not have role models of success except for NBA players, right? And that's why a lot of black men might want to be in the NBA, rappers, right? Or drug dealers. So
it's not the creator's fault for what happens with children and the content.
Jay-Z's not only the creator, he ran the label. He's everything. He wasn't just a creator. He was signing an artist, promoting an artist, being with Leo Cohen, being the power behind a lot of negative rap music that Def Jam was putting out when he was there. So he's not just the creator; he's also part of the system. A very big. I
was told as a young child, when something inappropriate came on, go in the room.
Yeah,
go sit down. When there was records playing that I wasn't supposed to be hearing, go in the back.
All right, so before I go to the comments, that I think you guys could kind of reiterate your point of view 100 times over. We don't want to do that. We're running out of time. No, Vanessa, you have to leave at 11 today, so that's in 15 minutes. So we definitely don't want to do that. But I'm gonna put my point of view in there and say that I'm gonna it seems Mocha is agreeing with you. I'm gonna kind of agree with Casey in the sense that me personally, if I listen to gangster, so quote unquote gangster rap, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it conflicts me. I'm like, why is this shit so hot when they talking some garbage sometimes, right? But at the same time, Casey and I spoke of, we made a film together, kind of trashing that stuff, and at the same time we were working with the youth, right? So we saw the impact that it was having on the youth. I just put that out there first. But at the same time, I want to say, when listening to that type of music, me personally, I like content, and I know I'm not the only one. I want to hear the whole story, and there are rappers out there who are successful that tell the whole story. You know what I mean? So like, even people, they think of UGK, they think of, they just make music about sipping lean and all this. That's not true. People like Bun B tell the whole story. You know what I mean? There are people who tell the whole story, and to me, I much rather hear the whole story than just the glorified version of, I sold crack and then my CPA hula hoop through the tax loops and that type of dumb shit. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with he's not telling the whole story, and I can never condone someone not telling the whole story. In my opinion, I don't fuck with people that don't tell the whole story. Tell the whole story so the youth, even if they do listen to you and look up to you, can say, okay, I want to go in that direction, knowing the risks I'm going to take. And there are people that make great songs from the heart that talk about their friends dying, this happening, that happening, you know what I mean? Jail time, etc. You know what I'm saying? So I think the Griselda dudes make a good do a great job at telling the whole story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he talks about shooting at people and all that, but he also talk about his friend dying and crying his eyes out and being shot in his face. You know what I mean? Speaking of Conway and all that. So, you know, tell me the whole story. Don't just act like you sold drugs and then put on a suit and then the white man shook your hand and gave you $1 million and then you turn that into $1 billion, because that's overwhelmingly not the case for majority of people. You know what I mean? But I want to go to the comments. And let me see. Let me go up. The comments kind of came in pretty fast. So let me see. All right, so here we go. I think we're here. Mills Redemption says, "Hey Mills." Franchise Catering says the Kennedys are a perfect example of that at Vanessa. About, I think, turning their crimes to, you know, success. And that happens in a lot of communities, but in our communities, it doesn't happen as much, because let me break it down, right? So a lot of other communities, you know, they could turn being gangster into actual political and business power, right? In turn being gangsters and mobsters or whatever you want to call it into be actually protecting and funding business and community. But in our case, they're coming at us from all angles. So when we try to do that, it's the easiest way for them to catch us up, because we're being locked up at an unproportional rate, at a crazy rate for nonviolent crimes even. So you sell a little bit of crack, you getting crazy time. And somebody in another community doing all types of drugs, sniffing all types of coke, and they motherfuckers get slapped on the wrist if they even get harassed. I remember I've been locked up a few times, arrested a few times as a youth for smoking weed. And then it bugged me out. I moved to California as an adult, and I'm on a line to buy weed with old white women. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is the shit they put me in jail for? You know what I mean? So it's ridiculous. You know what I mean? So anyway, J Cap says, Casey heard the Michael Blackson criticism and put the cape on quickly. And then Mills Lane says Steph, he said bullseye at Steph. Franchise Catering says Chinese goat. Then he also said Jay-Z stabbed Un. Well, allegedly it was his man who stabbed Un. It made him take the blame, as they said. So Lord Velen League says, I don't care for Jay-Z, but I'll say this. If you're going to bring up Jay-Z past, then you will have to bring up Malcolm X past. Everyone has a past, but they can change. And I used to destroy my community. Shit, me too, man. But at the same time, I think Casey's point, which I agree with, is Malcolm X didn't glorify it after. He demonized it in a sense. He talked down to it. He did not glorify. He did not say, yo, I used to sell drugs. I put on the bow tie. He didn't, you know what I mean? He didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? He said, yo, fuck that shit. You know what I mean? I'm paraphrasing. I don't recall ever hearing Malcolm X say fuck that shit in a speech, but he did not glorify it. And Jay-Z, to this day, is still making music as mature as his music is, where he still throws it in there that he used to do that shit, and it still led him to where he's at now. You know what I mean? So Keenan, and when you think about it, it didn't lead him to where he's at now. Whether he allegedly funded his dreams through that or whatever, he got out. He wouldn't be where he is now if he didn't get out. You know what I mean? So it had to be a point in time where he said, yo, I got to leave this shit alone. So that's what we want to hear, the whole story. Keenan Khan says Jay-Z shot his own brother. I think I did hear a little bit about that.
He's on his record.
Yeah, Shoot the Club Up to Cameron on his Purple Haze album, said on his Purple Haze album that one of his mans was going to rob Marbury. London Taylor says, I used to listen to people like Clips for a specific reason. And even one of them stopped rapping because of that shit. Franchise Catering, Casey clearly wasn't listening to Jay. Hove did that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that.
How did Hove doing that help me not go through that? How? He ain't give me no money. He ain't put me in the roster. What did Jay-Z do to help any black man not sell crack besides glorify it? How many black men is he giving jobs?
All right, but let's not go down a rabbit hole, because like I said, Vanessa got to go soon. And I think Mocha as well. Mills Lane says Kim Kardashian makes clothes pursuing a law career, which has changed from her and Ray J's home movie business. Okay, she went, fair enough.
She don't got no bars. I used to be a hoe, now I got a reality show. I used to be on tape getting banned, now I got the slang with the bang billions.
I think Casey about to write a song for them. Alana Taylor says, Keenan, Marvin Gaye's father killed him, so what's your point? Franchise Catering says he's saying what up to Mills Lane as well. Mike says, basically a money advocate. Keenan Khan says, London facts. London facts. Pusha T music don't hit the same to me anymore. Drug rap is played out. I agree with that. Keenan Khan says, London, I was piggybacking off of Steph. Keenan says 100. Shoot the Club Up says that white girl's video was ridiculous. it was, but it was meant to be. It was meant to be. So, you know what I mean? Redemption says white girls was funny as fuck. Salute. King So says the Spanish lady that runs Rock Nation for him is known as a known former FBI agent, informant, and put kingpins in jail.
Cartels in jail. That's Desiree Perez.
And J Cap says religious fanaticism and cult-like behavior are the biggest problems we're facing. That's a fact. I agree, because we could be fanatics about the people we look up to, and then that happens to influence us. You know what I mean? Whether we know it or not. Lorville in the league says 8-Ball, MJG, UGK, Master P, Scarface all made successful careers about talking about the good and bad in the streets. Talking about you can lose your life or go to jail. That's a fact. Redemption says King So, Desiree Perez. Kalila Bolin says it was Jesus and Peter walking on water in Matthew 14. Thank you. Jesus and Peter. So we both are right. Jesus did it and somebody else did. Okay, cool.
Peter was the fisherman.
All right. And King Kong says Louisville facts. Coming Out Hard is one of my favorite albums. Facts. Word. That's shit's dope. Brooklyn Honcho says Logic. Well put about misleading it as it appears. Yep. And Miss Ravioli says all parties are responsible for the children seeing adult content. Content creators simply need to go above and beyond when it comes to warning the babies and the parents / adults about their body of work. And Shoot the Club says Jay shooting his own brother is some nut ass shit. And then he goes on to say, I believe that drug rap really did die out. Rick Ross songs don't hit no more either. And I'm gonna just say this when it comes to the Rick Ross songs. I thought the most song that I thought was the most misleading and I was the most disappointed with Rick Ross is when he says he sell drugs on the iPhone. The fucking iPhone. The phone you can't take your battery out of. The phone you can't you can't do anything to mask yourself, right? And then you tell the youth, I'm selling drugs on an iPhone. That's ridiculous. And I do want to shout out the donations I got today. I received a donation from Maine. So salute the Maine. And with that being said, I do want to just really quick give you a quick. So this is not I wanted to go into some more topics. And as you know, if we don't get into it, we'll get into it in the following day. But I'm not going to play this whole video, but I'm going to put it on the screen. And I'm going to say this is our COVID update for the day. And because, I like to keep you guys on your toes when it comes to the whole COVID thing. Everybody knows I don't fuck with the COVID thing.
Yes, and Logic, you will give us our COVID update.
COVID update is The Rock reveals his family all tested positive for the coronavirus. Not one, but all tested positive for the coronavirus. All right. So I don't know if y'all want to call him an actor about this shit or whatever, but the man is letting you know it's real. And Franchise Catering says, yeah, Rick Ross, the feds. Brooklyn Hunter says, I'll pay for Vanessa and Mocha to finish the show. Well, the thing about that is they have careers to do, you know what I mean? They have jobs, you know what I mean? Not even jobs, but careers, and they have to go make, the money that pays the rent, not just the donation money. But salute to Brooklyn Honcho, who always donates. And Lord Vanna Lee says, Rick Ross ain't selling drugs if he said that bullshit. That's a fact. And
can I interject?
Go ahead.
I used to be a CEO. Now I rock with the POs. I used to work corrections. Now I make selections. I think he should rap about that, be more realistic, because that's a career a lot of people could have. Black men, you could be a corrections officer. Like, he should encourage that. He did that. He should show his path. Like, every day in the jail. Young niggas ain't making bail. I'ma help them to fail.
I seen homie take the other homie tail.
So I feel more honesty and rap should be the move. And I would have got real long-winded if you ain't say what you said about Griselda, because you took the words out of my mouth right there.
Yeah, no doubt. Ms. Ravioli says Peter ain't walk on shit. Peter got scared, wavered in his faith, and fell. Okay. And Redemption says everyone popping up with COVID lately. And Mike says, because that nigga live in the damn gym. And he also says, you think he have a home gym. Maybe he does, and it looks like a gym. You know what I mean? Outside of that. So look, Casey sent me a video for you guys called Grand Rising. You guys asked for the Sell More Crack Than You by the Monkey Gang, which is Casey and I's ulterior motives. So we're going to play that. Of course, we got to get into some Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. You know what I mean? So I'm going to play at least like 10, 15 minutes worth of music for y'all. You know what I mean? We're going to get into it. And we're going to start with the Sell More Crack Than You, since we're talking about rappers doing the dumb shit. You know what I mean? Doing the dumb shit. We're going to start with that, with the Sell More Crack Than You. And salute to the people that donated. You know what I mean? If we miss you, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. VeeSmilez, I have so many thought topics that we never got to speak about. You pulling up tomorrow, V? Yeah,
yes, I'll be here. I'll be here tomorrow.
Okay, so we're going to get into some thought topics tomorrow. Casey, you should pull up tomorrow if you have some time to go.
How early? I will. Let me come in late, because, you know, if I come in early, I'm just going to try and talk too much, and I'm not going to have no energy. So let me just come in for the last hour tomorrow.
It's all good. We'll work it out, man. Just figure it out.
Let me do last time.
I say just come in when you can come in.
Come in when I wake up. Yeah.
Mocha, what was you saying?
I want to come in on some thought topics too.
Oh, you gonna come tomorrow? You gonna pull up?
I would love to. Yeah, if there's room for me, absolutely.
Room for you. So y'all heard it here first. You know what I mean? So you heard it here first. Thank you to my co-hosts, VeeSmilez, MochaBNice, aka Queen Mocha, Casey Gain, aka Mighty MC Mighty Casey, you know, aka Murder Homicide. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna get into this Monkey Gang shit. I sell more crack than you, bust more gas than you. And yeah, this has been the morning rant.
Yo, y'all niggas know who it is. It's a DJ Corp, Ghoulie Goo Goo. It's a Ghoulie production, Monkey Dick Entertainment, Murder Homicide. Bullet, y'all niggas, get it poppin'. I sell crack to my arms, sell crack to my moms. Tattoo of a crack vial inked on my arms. DJ Ghoulie Goo. Yo, y'all niggas know who it is. It's a DJ Corp, Ghoulie Goo Goo. It's a Ghoulie production, Monkey Dick Entertainment, Murder Homicide. Bullet, y'all niggas, get it poppin'. I sell crack to my arms, sell crack to my moms. Tattoo of a crack vial inked on my arms. Got crack in my ass, crack in my palm. Sell crack to a cracker, it's crack and I'm gone. Nah, this ain't Ricky, this ain't Poison the Hood. Just crack selling Kevin, I poison the hood. And yeah, I sell crack, I ain't morally conflicted. Don't care who die, don't care who get addicted. Niggas know I love the odor, cocaine and baking soda. Niggas know I love the odor, cocaine and baking soda. Niggas know I love the odor, cocaine and baking soda. Niggas know I love the odor, cocaine and baking soda. Niggas know I love the odor, cocaine and baking soda. Bang bang, Monkey Gang, murder be the shit thrower. So crack the Pookie, so crack to Gator. But if the cops come, nah, see you later. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. We on top of the mountain, we the greatest, Monkey Gang. I sell more crack than you, bust more gas than you, get more ass than you, pack more crack and ass than you, cause I sell more crack than you. Get it, get it, get it. Murder, homicide, homicide, murder. If you knew someone who died from cocaine, you could blame me. If your aunt is on cocaine or your mother's on cocaine, she can't take care of you, you could blame that on me. Crack, coke, whatever, son. I poison the hood for real. So crack to my mom. My mother sucked dick for crack to give me money. The goon, the underboss, my man Big Bullet. Don't make me put a bullet in you or a bullet on you, cause a bullet will get in you. Ask anybody about bullet, any hood, any jail, nigga. Don't fuck around. Drop grenades in your fucking projects, you know what I'm saying? Bulletproof, nigga. You already know, nigga.
It's kiss and cuss, motherfucker. Keep this shit on me. I'm I'm the motherfucking iron pimp. You know what I'm talking about? I put the shit together. Grab a motherfucker, say, hey motherfucker, you wanna rap, sell crack? Come on!
DJ Core, Goonie, Goo, right? That shit out my fucking face.
Yeah, get it all, man.
We so gangster, we sniff
Get
coke.
it all.
We Tony
That's
Montana.
that real? Yeah, bro.
That's that real? You
That's
can't
it.
feel my face, nigga.
Oh, bling blinging and shining. You see this shit right here?
Niggas is so fly, we about to put plutonium on our necks. Plutonium? You know what the fuck plutonium is? We going nuclear on niggas. Fuck this shit. Fuck all this. We going plutonium. When you see niggas glowing, that's us, nigga. Monkey gang.
Get it? I sell more crack than you, bust more gas than you, get more ass than you, pack more crack and ass than you, cause I sell more crack than you. Get it?
It's my daily prayer. You know what I'm saying? Every day I say this. Crack is good. Crack is great. Thank you for that crack you make. If I get locked before I wait, I beg the Lord, there's crack to bake.
Y'all niggas know how this shit goes. Monkey gang in effect. Monkey big monkey dick in the building. Smashing on top of the city. Tilting the scales. You know what we do. We the fucking greatest. You understand? Selling crack in all the local neighborhoods. Crack bodegas. Bitch ass niggas. Eat a dick with AIDS on the tip out of a cancer infected uterus. That's what this shit is about. Pure hip hop. Monkey gang. Monkey dick. Ghoulie Productions. Fulton and Crenshaw, nigga. Eat a dick.
It's your boy, DJ Ghoulie Goo. You did. Monkey gang. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Arguably, hip-hop has been dead since 2006, though many believe hip-hop is on life support.
Yo, check it. My rhymes are straight ignorant, stupid and repetitive. Kill black men, sell crack to their relatives. Make your brains dead, nigga.
After the alleged death of hip-hop, along with the saturation of gangster rap,
Nigga, I really sell crack.
You want some hip-hop shit?
marketed by the white Anglo-Saxons of corporate America, came a rap group miseducated, misguided, and wrongfully influenced individuals.
Monkey shit on your motherfucking monkey brain. Let your chick lick on my monkey chain. That's how we do every day in the hood. Act ignorant, belligerent, just cause we could.
Key members of the group agreed to sit down with our cameras, and what we have experienced was pure nigga nonsense.
Yeah. It's your boy Murder Homicide, aka Homicide Murder, aka Homicide Harry.
This your boy, a DJ Core Ghoulie Goo Goo, aka Gary Gnu, aka Gnu Gary, aka
Crack Selling Kevin, aka Beat Your Mama Barry, aka
Not spitting your records when you don't pay me, aka I gets the fucking job done, aka aka pistol whipping your favorite rapper. You understand what I'm saying?
Out of the whole monkey gang, nigga, I'm the one who's seen up north the most.
Yo, this bullet. Them niggas gon' bite the bullet when I pull it. Monkey gang, motherfucker, we the realest.
How did I get the name Kissin' Cuzzo? Well, my name came from my family, man. You know what I mean? Back in the day, I had so much love to spread. I used to grab my cousins sometimes. I said, hey, come here, motherfucker. Next question. Yo, kiss me management, nigga. Yo, my management skills are so good, it's gonna make you wanna kiss me, son. You know what I'm saying? That's how I picked up Steezy. Word up. I found this nigga at the putt-putt, nigga. What? The greatest rapper alive. You gotta grab a motherfucker. Say, hey, motherfucker, you wanna rap, sell crack? Come on. Shit, get on the goddamn bus. Look, that nigga got tattoos all over his face, nigga. That motherfucker's a born superstar, nigga. When he walk into the mall, all security guards, motherfucker, mace they self, nigga. Look at this nigga. Tell these niggas about yourself, nigga.
Yeah. Nigga, little Steezy, F Cuzzo. I'll spit it around for y'all right now.
Spit it around for them niggas.
I'm so cool like a real dude. Steezy go crazy all up in the real mood. Yeah. Crazy out the mind now. I got banana flying all up in my mind now. I only think about bananas. It's what I do with stuff, cause I go straight bananas.
Bananas.
Monkey gang, monkey dick.
The Monkey Gang and Murder Homicide gained mainstream exposure using their street credibility and their underground gangster rap song, Sell More Crack Than You.
Monkey Gang!
I sell more crack than you, bust more gas than you, get more ass than you, pack more crack and ass than you, cause I sell more crack than you. Get it, get it, get it.
Like this. I want to put the toast. Watch that shit down. Give me a toast. All right. Everybody shits up. Put your shits up.
Yeah.
There's a toast. To more crack.
More crack.
More crack.
More crack.
Selling more crack.
Selling more crack.
Then you. Busting more gas.
Busting more gas.
Then you.
Nigga.
Bang, nigga. That's my family. You already know that's my family. Monkey Gang.
Get it? I sell more crack than you, bust more gas than you, get more ass than you, pack more crack and ass than you, cause I sell more crack than you. Get it?
It's my daily prayer. You know what I'm saying? Every day I say this. Crack is good. Crack is great. Thank you for that crack you make. If I get locked before I wait, I beg the Lord, there's crack to bake. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ah, ah.
Y'all niggas know how this shit go. Monkey Gang in effect. Monkey, big monkey dick in the building. Smashing on top of the city. Tilting the scales. You know how we do. We the fucking greatest. You understand? Selling crack in all the local neighborhoods. Crack bodegas.
That's what the niggas, that's who I had to get with right there. You know what I'm saying? Straight official shit, man. Yo, this Monkey Gang. Y'all motherfuckers
Bang,
scared,
bang,
man.
monkey gang. Murder, death, kill. Murder, death, kill. Murder, death, kill. Murder, death, kill. Murder, death, kill.
Grand rising, grand biscuits, magic wand waving grand wizards. If you my man, 100 grand and a grand missing. I got 99 problems, what's the damn difference? Listen, on my unborn grandkids, you know a nigga grown when a band is a bandage and the band keeps playing when you on a Titanic and your home network can't handle the bandwidth life's a damn bitch. Still love her though, raw sex pulling off the rubber slow. Rubber dub, that's a dry rub on the roast. Smells like burnt toast, you know I got a serious stroke. Periods broke like the levees. Flow on the mic kinda heavy. Got enough sauce for the spaghetti. Red hot chili pepper, order water under the bridge. I forgive niggas for wanting to live. I ain't mad at ya, I ain't the mad rapper. Just a mad dapper damn rather. Shimmy shimmy y'all like a capper. Somebody tell Boozy that I'm batter. Vanilla extract in a batter. I ain't playing patty cake. I mean, how many patty pies can daddy bake? Mad I gotta save a slice for Sally Mae. May the odds ever be forever in your favor. Forever and a whole day later. Day to day, day traders. Daylight come for slave labor. Labor Day, labor pains getting paid straight up. Grand Rising, Grand Canyon, grandfather clock, grandstanding. You lucky if you got grandparents. Shit is Operation Grand Clearance. It's clandestine. Magazine, glam essence. 120 plan lessons from the ancestors. Fan blessings, hand-in-hand, hand gestures, jam sessions, children asking damn questions, watching cartoons and wrestling. Grand Rising, Grand Central, Freemasons at the Grand Temple. All praises to the audacious, all-seeing eye, all patient. Call waiting for the hookup, cook up salt fish, just crooked how to pour, get rewarded with more risk. Fried dumpling, daily bread, top of the morning, getting daily head. Taking diabetic daily meds, sugar-free jelly spread. Crown Jewel got a heavy head. You got a headache from the Reggie Reg. Grand Rise, 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 Grand Rise.
They asked John,
why your fucking skin so light? Cause Pops raped Mom by the shed one night. And my mom's was a slave and my Pops was white. Who thought black pussy was his goddamn right? Everybody say I look just like him. Same eyes, same nose, but I'm bright light skin. How could he disown me, knowing that he owned me? Plus I got a sister too, see I ain't the only. Tragic mulatto, that's a horse and a donkey. That ain't me, I'm a nigga in a honky. I ain't got a lot, but I got a pot to piss in. Plates is for the boogers, pans is for the shitting. When they eating is the only time I'm grinning. And when they hurling, that's the only time I'm winning. Took a pistol from my Pops, gave that shit to my man. Now we got him a gun, and he got him a plan.
Mankind.
Yo. I was working in the field for the boss, and I swore I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
I swear that Jehovah on the cross, I really seen a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse? Well, this might feel a boss with remorse, but I think I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
I wasn't even sipping on the sauce, and I swore I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
Check. Yo, about to dive off the deep end. Black jockeys trying to win the Preakness. Yeah, I'm seeing sounds, this is synesthesia. A little reefer, a little pizza. Napoleon complexes, Little Caesars. From the pits of Giza to where the pizza leans. Lady Gaga, little monsters. Zombies bleeding, deceased carcasses. Chopped up so it's easy to eat like read 'em and weep. Bet on that like the Belmont. Cell block hell, Mattel props. Van Gogh leaving them shell-shot black jockeys trying to win Kentucky derbies. That's the charm fucking early. Crack a dawn, orange juice trying to duck the scurvy. Otherworldly, no alarm clock. Yup, I'm up as soon as the sun alerts me like, here comes the sun, here comes the #1 gunners on the block. Mankind, 101, son of none other than the mother son. All the time like the horse, all I think run and run. Batting only if I had another gun. They divide, make it back, they could add, they subtract. Took my life, I'm just trying to take it back. What is love? What the fuck is love?
Mankind. Yo, heard they trying to get a clue, cause the clan can't scout me. I ride like the wind to the end of the county. Somebody told me that they saw my picture with a bounty. I told them that the eagle and the hawk them surround me. By the blood of God, bloodhounds never found me. Now I'm a wolf and my wolf pack rowdy. Howl at the moon, devour and consume. Get a gut feeling when your bowels start to move. What a rush, legion of doom. Doomsday preaching at noon. Prophesy since the seed in the womb. It's a heaven's plate wedding day. Dynamite sticks in the wedding cake. Got a lit fuse about to detonate. Let us pray. In war paint, red in my eyes, determined to live. Live free, ready to die. Mankind. I was working in the field for the boss, and I swore I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
I swear that Jehovah on the cross, I really seen a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse? Well, this might feel a boss with remorse, but I think I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
I wasn't even sipping on the sauce, and I swore I saw a nigga on a horse.
A nigga on a horse?
Nigga on a horse, nigga on an elephant, nigga winning wars, nigga in a roadster, nigga in a Porsche, nigga in a spaceship, nigga with the force, a nigga with a pen beat, a nigga with a sword, a nigga with an attitude, nigga with awards. One thing I ain't is a nigga with a boss, so I smile every time my niggas up in the sauce. Mankind.
Mankind, Cactus Jack, you love mankind. Yeah, black bodies in the water, in a place where they cannot float. White folks looking at me like you can't get in my boat. Get in my boat. Black bodies in the water, in a place where they cannot float. White folks looking at us like you can't get in my boat. Get in my boat.
Mankind. As much as I gave yo. Cause if you gave as much as I gave to you, cause if you gave as much as I gave to you, 40 acres in the mule, 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 40 acres in the mule. Bitch, we talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' crazy. Like trick, you gon' crazy.
You know your deficit is decadent. Poor souls, you were never rich. Unseasoned, uneven. Odds are you done bleeding. You've only one cheating, is the sun season. Melanated love bug Starsky. Wild style, wildlife safari. Manual labor party. Party affiliations. Lobbyist litigation. Ungodly. God body divinations. Divine non-deliberations. Deliver us from Satan. Expedited. Deliver us from waiting. It's overdue. Deliver us a payment. Cash on delivery. Deliver to the last of a living breed. How much? Enough to last till infinity. The question that I ask of my enemy, remember me?
If you gave as much as I gave to you, cause if you gave as much as I gave to you, 40 acres in the mule, 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 40 acres in the mule. Bitch, we talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' crazy.
Mankind, yo, fluid as the sweat on my brow. I was riding the wave, just another head in the crowd. Hesitant, slave to the regiment, off lettuce, head in the clouds. Brand new testaments, medicine vows, sedatives for the predicate felons involved in drug lists. While I'm crying while I ride the stupids, it's something you did. You just gave me mine, but you did.
As much as I gave to you, cause if you gave as much as I gave to you, 40 acres in the mule, 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 40 acres in the mule. Bitch, we talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Like trick, you gon' pay me. Talking reparations. Like trick, you gon' crazy. Like trick, you gon' crazy.
Hey yo, you can catch me riding through the town as it slowly morphs. Old Brooklyn, every corner got that holy cross. Slow motion in the sections, late old ladies cross. Salute they came before, knew you from baby drawers. There's new money on the block, I see Mercedes, Porsche. A couple regulars, but these niggas high level developers. Fuck your offers, come at you sideways. No level up, I'm copping me some property. You're probably some poppy seed farms. Like fuck it y'all, I need me a side hustle. Sell bagels to Jews, cable to Fox News. Look who's coming to dinner, where everyone's got a seat at the table, but not you. Word to Shirley, baby. Reverse the spell, trying to turn me crazy. I'm getting out, yeah, I'm buying in. I'm selling out, going roll, going try my hands. Bitch, better try again.
Yo, I ain't never watched Game of Thrones, but I was born in the year of the dragon, yeah. Smoking dragon's breath, spitting fire that's a dragon's breath. Get that gasoline match effect.
Game match and set, battle and set, the son of Apollo Creed. Got his face leaking, he sees ricotta cheese, the source is boss. George Steinbrenner, 5 in
Yeah, fire sign, that's where I enter. Sodom and Gomorrah, idolize, that's a lie. God complex of God symptoms, sodomized, adenolarema, unholy overseers, jagged edges of pocket knives, monetize violence, bombing, watch the profit rise.
Dollar signs, itemized budgets, 3 musketeers with a musket. Okay, Cupid, play stupid, shells hit your bicuspid. Had your mama crying tears in a bucket. Where's the Republic? The Republican Party is getting gutted.
It's fucked up, but you gotta love it. Iron Man, Spider-Man versus Miss Muffet. Nuclear for the budget, right? New fears for the public.
Cold War, her winter is coming. I ain't seen it. Cyclops trying to ride the Phoenix. Wolverine pulling strings. Puppets fall to the floor. If it ain't civil, just call it a war. Planes hit you, fake issue, brain tissue blaze. Crystal meth clinic, vampire blaze pistol. Silver bullet, pull it, erase the issue, yeah. Slug hit you, blood trickle, scud missile. Pitching, catch a case if the glove fit you. Po and still fuck with you.
Like an ex that's mad, she's still in love with you. Busting shots from your love pistol, for Pistol Pete's sake, no foundation on a beat face. High kiss and makeup, wake up. Hear the cockadoodle dudes at the crack of dawn. Hop into your shoes, it's the Lord's day. All day, every day, nigga, always. Coca-Cola, mankind, co-controllers. Two-player soothsayers, yin-yang twins, twin shooters. Double barrel, twin Rugers. Barrel smoking like it's 20 twin Buddha. Trying to find Nirvana, smelling like Teen Spirit, it's just marijuana. Magic wand waving Harry Potter. On my Harry Belafonte, singer mama look a boo-boo. For Shaka Khan, I'm Shaka Zulu with the chakra voodoo. I ain't watching Hulu, I got hula hoop dreams to be a guru.
Mankind,
you need the juice and you need the juju to be a double dragon.
Motherfucker casket, we don't die, we multiply. Baby's kids disrupting traffic. Puffing grass, puff the magic dragon. Blooded raps, double dragon, packing, busting at your cabbage. Ben Savage, boy meets girl in the world blindly. Lens crafters, Sanskrit the pen, handcrafted the gems. Cracking the glass like Daryl Dawkins, jamming at the rim. NBA jams, dabbing while I spin, then I slam it. Do your Googles, Onyx, Fredro, and Charlemagne shooting hoops. Loose screw, ludicrous, Buddha move, bitch. Timberlands booted, rebooted, Boo Saga, Goku. Sipping Ghost Lager in a low rider, ghost riding, Most high should know the second that you gotta go. Vominos, adios, fucking classic. What can match this? Double dragons.
Esquire.
Out the game, but a nigga ain't ashamed. Rolled down the Porsche window and all you saw was flames. All I know is pain, all I feel is pain. How do I maintain with that shit on my brain? Been in the range, getting brain from a name. $100 haircuts like motherfuck change. Motherfuck change, I'm a motherfuck gang. Black gang, 100 chains on like June Bugs Bay. Ass naked, 100 chains on like I'm Xerxes. Hi. Fucking your bitch, they jingle while she squirting. Fucking your bitch, silence while I'm working. Universal, cause they ain't deserve me. I just want what I deserve. I think I deserve king. I think I deserve bling. I think y'all deserve wings. Here, big gun, bucking like I'm Earthworm Jim. Big gun, bucking like I'm Earthworm Jim. What? Big gun, bucking like I'm Earthworm Jim. Bitch, I think I'm Lord Zed in some Earth Tone Tims. Bitch, I'm fucking raw dog, so don't fuck with him. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons up. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. When there's drama, I get on my horn and call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. When there's drama, I get on my horn and call the goons in. Me and my niggas is the Corleone.
We all Michael.
Me and my niggas is the Jackson 5.
We all Michael.
Me and my niggas the Chicago Bulls.
We all Michael.
Can I fuck your bitch? Let me know.
We all Piper.
I got 7 Mac 11s, 8 48s, 9 9s, 10 Mac 10s, 45 45, 2 22s. Motherfucker, I am more than live. I'm God. You G? That's still 2 letters on. Listen up to earn your Audi. I'm sipping on this Audi. Listening to Gaudi got me feeling like the oatmeal. Sophie sipping sake, clothes, line Kenta Kabashi in a hot tub with Sophie ass Sophie while I'm socking. Down the bay, niggas wondering if I'm a pop or not. Love to hate, nigga, that's a sense who been the Kakarot. Salad to a dinosaur, a rocket to an astronaut, an astroplane, an arrow, aim a bunch of fucking Africa. Nigga smoke hydro. I ain't got no fucking rivals, these niggas gyno. I ain't got no fucking wife though, I got a side hoe. Cell phone full of freak bitches like a sideshow. 2 bitches sucking 1 dick, that's a side blow. Sipping cocaine off my dick, that's a lot of blow. Niggas talk that G shit, but we don't believe them. No, you pussy got a tampon string coming out your pee. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. When there's drama, I get on my horn and call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. I'm the Green Ranger, call the goons in. When there's drama, I get on my horn and call the goons in. Hollows will make you sing the gospel. Hostile with any fossil who think they stopping my bosso. Live live apostle, twisting pasta in Ferragamo. Gamma ray radiated, my rage inflated as password. The flaming gospel got you, snatch the lame out you. Brain on the A train, my nuts banging the tonsils. And I could give a fuck if she militant, a 9-to-5 bitch, or a hood rat hoe who don't give a shit. Hopped out, R. Kelly goggles on from 96. Real grimy nigga, but he still told the shiny grip. Every 6 months that nigga Johnny get Dubai and shit. We better than these niggas and it's obvious. Niggas throwing shots, but I ain't ducking them, cause X don't duck shit. When I see him, I'ma snuff every F in one of them. Effortless flow. Niggas tried to make me kinda shit, but I like violence, I like wildin', nigga. That's my kinda shit. Dollar spin like an economist on Wally Moccasin. Versace, I wear like Big Papa on a yacht inside his bed. Simon said, chuck a shiny dick until your mind repent for thinking that these wild vagina kids could ever rhyme with him. Flow as tight as rusty plier grips. A time bomb ticking about to blow like invaders him. Fuck this whole shit up, fuck this whole system. Use an asshole, a mental midget. I should uppercut your scrawny ass right through the ceiling, nigga. No, I don't feel these niggas. Yup, I'm Achilles, niggas. Undisputed truth, it can never be no split decisions, ho. So when you think about the best, you say me. When the Grammy get a speech with a weight tucked in my cheeks,
Hold guns and terrorize, cock back and sterilize, flip making cheddar rise, bitch living better lives, snitch then we sever ties. I don't respect that. Queens in my bloodstream, word to my Mets hat. Silk over shoulders, cashmere coats, we fresh black. I've been told niggas fall back and move graciously. Fuck being stuck in a box, I think spaciously. Cartier, cocaine, cardiology. I ain't gon' chill if it's beef, you gotta body me. Cherry red beamer, fried shrimp from Maltina. Official with a pistol, niggas wish I was their leader. But I could never fuck with an imposter. I'd rather play alone than have bum niggas on my roster. Don't doing donuts in the style playing who shot you. My niggas moving crazy flower. Your little chain look like you stole it at a baby shower. And your shorty think I'm super cool. She wasn't shit, I sent that bitch home in an Uber pool. She made 17 and a half stops. She lived 3.6 miles away and it took her 14 hours. Fuck that bitch. Fuck that bitch.
The sky, the sun, the moon, move soul to soul eternally. This meant to be, man, boy. So what we gonna do? 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 Man, boy. So what we gonna do? 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 Fire, I were I, you were you. We were the sky, the sun, the moon, move soul to soul eternally. This meant to be, man, boy. So what we gonna do? 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 Man, boy. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do? What Is this shit a lyric, or is it just my spirit speaking out loud proudly so everyone can hear him? He really speaks gently, except the times he tempts me, makes me do bad things. It drains me till I'm empty. You probably don't believe me, wish I could take a pic, but this drunk scuzzy motherfucker jacking off his dick, screaming in my ear, yelling, "You ain't shit. You never gonna make a nigga. You should just quit." I'm my biggest obstacle, or y'all don't exist. Like the M. Night Shyamalan plow. What's the twist? Mr. Invincible, Mr. Inhuman, Mr. Ingenious really thinks that he's stupid and vulnerable and lonely. Most of the time he's home trying to figure out what's going on inside his dome piece. Spiritually dying, the pariah live inside him. Nobody ever calls him, even you don't like him. Semi-suicidal, emotions like a tidal wave. Bipolar first, he fit the noose, then it all behave. Infinite last days, an eternal pathway. It leads him where he started, so he only goes halfway. He can't go forward and he can't go backward. He's trapped most days, I wonder why I started rapping. Oops, I meant he. It's definitely not me that I'm talking about on this brand new CD. Confessions of a shattered dreamer, sexaholic, scheming, deviant, and true believer, and always so what you're reaping. We could reap the benefits, and we could reap a Benedict Arnold in our thoughts that leave us lost and trembling. Eye against eye, third eye versus the mind for the title belt. In a ladder match, watch me climb. Bipolar chromosome, zoning on his own. Holochrome to his dome. Since Parochial school, I've been used up. Misconfused mud. I'm too recluse, stay loose in the comatorium. Every talker, stole vodka, stole my art, stole my comfort. There's nothing makes sense now, I'm totally bonkers. Off my rocker, bouncing off the walls in my mom's apartment. It ain't my fault that I lost and I can't absorb it. Lay it dormant, no dormant for the portion. I'm anonymous, oh my God, I'm normal, fully formed, regressing. Mind and ease be stressing. God bees the devil, he strikes me with blessings. I'm like a bitch that curses. I'm in war like Xerxes, trying my best not to hurt me. Depression, empty rhetoric, no, it barely speaks. It hides behind a smile and fear that you say we weak. I sip my tears and liquor, I drown my time in ink. Cage in reality, the only thing that free is the dream. Fuck this dream royally, cause it bought me, turned my cousin on me. But if he turned on me, that means he was never for me. Disloyalty, nigga shape shifting like more for me. How can I trust the same motherfuckers walked in the door of me? Spoiled and poisoned him, he's entitled, that's how it always be. What makes it worse is that we family. So with Thanksgiving, I'm paranoid, he pissing in the pot of greens. He bring my platey pipe, spit inside my mac and cheese. We throwing Loki, Megatron and Starscream. Never was jealous of you, did you wanna be me? You let your pride get in way of our dream. This is not who we supposed to be. Trapped, switch sides on me, let niggas ride on me. Gave him a second chance, he let him ride on me. How you a grown man playing three sides, homie? How wifey wear the pants and you with knee highs, homie? I hope you play the song for your daughter so that she know she really should call her daddy your mommy cause you a hoe. All them disappearing acts and a couple thousand you stole. So if you more spook out with your these streets did more, but she was lying, nigga. That ain't a dick, nigga. You a broad, so there had to be a click, nigga. You make me sick, nigga. Suck my dick, nigga. And when I see you, I'ma punch you in your shit, nigga. See, the thing about dreams is I'ma die for they shit. The thing about me is I kill for my shit. The pain separates the warriors from the men. Are you gon' brawl till you fall or cook a cry like a bitch? These scars represent everywhere that I've been. Double XL post broke with the ball slept on the 6. So everything I left will never see me again. You only get half a ball. Suck my dick. Man.
Black kids coming soon, nigga. Get ready.
I'm on fire right now, fuck nigga. I had the biggest comeback, nigga. Niggas thought it was over with for me, nigga. Y'all tried to count me out, nigga. I ain't forgot about that shit. Y'all niggas think I forgot, nigga. I ain't forgot about none of that shit. So I'm back with a chip on my fucking shoulder, nigga.
Wrote this with my eyes closed, or rose in Moscato. Intuition, inner visions flow from out the cosmos. Niggas ask me how I made it, I begin if I know. I just went with my soul, and the rest just follow. She's a good girl, fuck that bitch, I'd rather deal with dollars. Say no to CashApp, I ain't tricking, bitch, you must be psycho. But I'm prone to lie though, just don't tell all my bros. I spoke gelato in the Bronto, so I got the sky close. Damn, it's raining, grab my cane and pass my Prada poncho. The boots was leather with the tassels, those the Randy macho. Goggles, Ferragamo. Condos big as Costco. I popped the rhino, then she swallowed like it's Mr. Sacco. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. Modern life like Rocco, but I still pray to Shango. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to Gaucho. Rebel, outlaw, reckless, vato, ghetto, desperado. Aim the Draco, eating tacos, take your breath like Tyclos. Adjacent to Van Gogh, I'm chasing my shadow. The pain is the shackle, embrace it for battle. In the gym for 7 weeks, I feel like Boris Kojo. I mean Cujo with a new hoe, sober watching Kuso. With my old hoe, I forgot I fuck my hoes in duos. Football throws in 2 hoes, loopholes out with pool holes. That piece of coupon for designer, Gucci coat was 2-tone. School old Parasuco, shoot like Tony Kukoc. Good job of Samson, no Delilah, put that on my tombstone. Mirror, mirror, who's the illest? Please don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the realest? Wait, don't tell me I know. Mirror, mirror, who's the rarest? Please don't tell me I know. I devour my goals, and that's word to Gaucho.
One of the most common combos